cancer. Whether you have it or your doctors are looking for it, only a PET scan can give the critical details. First world countries now use PET scans instead of CT scans. Get the right scan. Get a PET scan. Call us for a free consultation.
Very good afternoon to one and all as we welcome you here to the Queen's Park Savannah, Queen's Park Oval for the third and final game in the three-match T20 series. The India Def 11 against the Trinidad and Tobago Def 11. And once again, the Trinidad and Tobago team won the toss and opted to field first. So the visitors will be at the crease yet again, getting first knock. Astel Ren is here with me. Good afternoon to you, Astel.
Good afternoon to you, Rusky, and thank you so much for this opportunity. And as we are looking at centre field, you just mentioned it right, you called it right, where the TNT Deft 11, they won the toss. Their skipper, Devon Adams, he called correctly, and he sent the visitors, the Indian team, to have first strike. We are about to witness the first delivery of this third and final T20 game encounter.
Well, he is originally he was going to bowl over the wicket, and so he's kind of changed the plan of attack, and he's opted to go around the wicket on this occasion. Nicholas Mohammed, and immediately they are off and running, not wasting any time in getting the action going here. So this is going to be the acid test for the Trinidad and Tobago bowlers. The Indians have already posted 250 in one game, and now it's a question of can Trinidad and Tobago somehow limit them?
This is really a test for the Trinidad and Tobago team, the national team. Indeed, it will be a good test indeed. The weather is, we have mixed kind of weather here. The sun is out and sometimes you get some clouds. We are not baked in sunshine at the Queen's Park Oval.
A wide delivery, he had to reach for it, Ashraf, and eventually just sort of punched it out into the offside. Really a very loose delivery. Luckily, he didn't get punished further.
Find the wicket indeed. It doesn't seem to be all that wrong. I mean, hard. It seems like if there is some moisture in the wicket, and if the TNT bowlers do well, they can get some early movements.
Again, delivery just sat up there. You could see him trying to really hammer it through the offside and not making any kind of any contact at all. This time he's able to squeeze it out, and well, there's a sliding tackle there that wipes out his own man, and now he has to chase after it and is able to pick it up there. Tobias, with that, yesterday he did it well. Today he missed the ball, but he took out his man in the process, and now they exchanging pleasantries. You look at it here, he went sliding and really not able to get to the ball, but in doing so, he clipped the leg. If this was a football game, he probably would have conceded a penalty there. He didn't touch the ball at all. It's a delivery that jumps and just Ashraf just pushing it out into the offside.
Is what I was talking about. Once they can put it in the right spot, the wickets seem to be not hard and not dry enough. But there is some moisture in this wicket. Once you put it in the right spot, Ruskin, I think the bowlers can be able to extract something from it, some turn and some bounce.
And again, remember, this is they use these two wickets primarily for this series. And so there might be a little bit of wear and tear on it, and I'm sure they would have put some preparation into it. I don't think they would have put water on it to prepare. But that's the end of the first over. Sharma is 1, and Ashraf is 1-2 without loss.
So it was a kind of quiet opening over indeed from the TNT Deft 11. They started off very quietly indeed, and the batsmen, they were cautious, but they were looking to score for every delivery. And this might be the pattern of play throughout this entire encounter. As we mentioned before, the TNT skipper, Devon Adams, he won the toss and he inserted the visitors to first strike. The Indian captain, Virender Singh, he said that they have made 3 changes to the team that won the second game yesterday.
Yes, Sanju Sharma is among them, the opening batsman you're seeing there. He's one of the players. Ashraf is normally the wicketkeeper. He doesn't normally open the batting, but I suppose they want to give everybody an opportunity.
Yes, this being the third and final game of this format of the game, I believe they're trying to get each and everyone that opportunity indeed.
Here's Budu, and no pace at all. Punched away nicely into the gap. It's a bit of a chase here, and I think they'll be happy with 2. That's the captain. They're going back for the third one. He's going to have to hurry. The return just a little bit too late. Not a bad return, but it just had that big hop in it before it got to Budu.
Yeah, had it been a direct, I mean, a much more accurate throw towards the wicket, the batsman coming at this end will have had some to really step on the accelerator. But as you said, you fully described it. There was this big hop in the delivery that Budu didn't take quite cleanly indeed. Well, he took it cleanly, but he had to go way out of his mark to make the save.
Just had a little delay here. The umpires, I'm not quite sure why, but they stopped Budu dead in his tracks. He has to start over. And that's a good delivery. There's a stifled appeal. That one was coming in with the arm. You could see the movement, the ball, just a little bit of swing there for him. Very good delivery.
Good delivery indeed from Bodo. I like somehow or the other, I like left arm pacers. They always present to you a different type of preparation when you're facing up to them, and that one was coming in indeed. To me, it was it came in too much and it was going down the leg side. As Bodo comes in once more.
Again, and he's bowled him off the inside edge this time. And that is a brilliant delivery that I'm sure that he will take that one every time. So Umar Ashraf is the man going for 5. It's 9 for 1.
A good delivery indeed from Buru. This one pitch coming in, and Umar Ashraf. Let's have a look at it on the replay. Let's see what happened. What really happened here? It pitched there coming in. Ashraf went for the drive. It hit the inside edge and it went into the leg stump. So there was a gap between bat and pad and Ruskin.
Yep.
That is for when you are a top order batsman. You must be tighter than that when you are coming forward to a left arm seamer.
Plus, he was probably trying to narrow the distance. He was trying to negate the swing. Unfortunately for him, he left himself exposed and the bat was down the original line. So by the time the ball moved, it was coming off the inner portion of the bat. And I mean, how often have you seen that happen and it beat the stumps and go to the fine leg for a boundary? Here, it actually crashed into the stumps.
A good wicket indeed for the TNT team. Early wicket indeed, I think they will be very, very relieved and very happy for that early wicket. It's 9 for 1, so they will be happy that they have elected to send the opposition into her first strike indeed, and that is what you always look for when you win a toss and send the opposition into her bat. You want to pick up some early wickets, and they have sent back one so far.
And they're looking for more. When you get one, you want two. And that's not bad at all. That's very well played. But again, just the lack of nuance right now on the part of some of the players. They're not aware of all that is required in some of those positions. That's a position where, as long as the batsman is not playing an attacking shot, you have to attack the ball because most times just a defensive push and he's trying to steal a single.
Yes, that was what they call an easy single, a soft single indeed. All the batsmen came forward and he realized that the fieldsman was a bit slow in getting to the ball, and they went through for a comfortable single. I mean, that is, as you mentioned, you have to be much more aware when you're feeling in that position.
Well, lovely delivery right up in the block hole there. That is just kept out.
Guru has bowled a good over so far, and being left arm indeed, and the atmosphere it seemed to be conducive for his type of bowling. Let's see if he can maintain that and maintain the pressure and bowl to his to the conditions.
That's another good delivery again. You would like them to attack the ball. He just kind of switched off there, and as if to say, "Well, we'll settle for this one run." But chances are you could effect a run out if he attacks the ball. That's Goman Singh there. So the end of the over, and at the end of that over, it is 10 for 1.
10 for 1 indeed, and that song's familiar. 10 for 1. 10 to 1 is more than
Yep.
Ruskin.
Yep. We're not killing anybody here today.
But the Indians will not be. They will not go berserker.
But the thing, as you said, when you win the toss and you insert the opposition, these are some of the spectators here who have been very supportive of the players on both teams, and they've really appreciated what they've uh, presented on the field. I'm sure they would have liked to seen Trinidad and Tobago do a little bit better, but I think they understand that this is a first for many of them, and there might be better days to come. Short ball pulled away, just didn't middle it as well. Probably as well he might not, because he probably could have picked out the man at deep mid wicket. I can't believe the West Indies conceded 400 runs.
That's the opening game of this ODI series.
Yep.
Um,
At Edgbaston, where Brian Lara made his own when he played county cricket.
for
So let's see what Mohammed, who's continuing. Again, just trying to put it down their hand to wicket. So wide, the signal are wide, but the batsman, really, who's not a tall man.
he really had to
Yeah.
he really reach out for that one, and he attempted to reach out, but he couldn't get to it. So it was really a wide one where the keeper just came across and collected.
Good shot again, and the man at mid-off was struggling to get across there, and that was the captain there trying his best to make up that ground, but Adams couldn't get across in time, and that's 4 runs, 4 good-looking runs there for Kuldeep Singh, the new batsman.
Lovely shot indeed. He came right forward. He got to the pitch of the ball. He got to the pitch of that delivery, and he gave it the full swing of the bat, giving Devon Thomas, Devon Adams, the TNT skipper, who came across to make the save, but he just couldn't get to it. It's a lovely shot indeed. It's one of the pretty shots in cricket, when you get to the pitch of a ball and you can give it a full treatment. It looks good.
Yeah, and Well, a lot of the Indian batsmen are good drivers of the ball. We've seen that in the tournament throughout. And good energetic fielding here, but the batsman able to make a nice, comfortable finish, another comfortable single.
Yes, indeed. I think the TNT team will have to be a little more urgent and put more pressure upon the batsmen because the singles are coming very, very easy indeed. Very, very easy. Just pushing there, and they are making it quite easy for the batsmen.
Because they all kind of like on the circle, and he was really trying to go for that one. He's seen a big gap there, somewhere over mid wicket, and trying to tug it from outside the off stump. Luckily for him, he didn't drag that on to his stumps as well. This time, that's another great shot into the gap. It goes through extra cover for four.
Lovely shot indeed. Yeah, it is a lovely, lovely shot indeed. He came forward and he got right there, picked the gap, and it went through there. Despite the outfield not all that lightning quick, on Ruskin, the ball traveled with some pace to the boundary. A good over indeed for the batting team as the score goes up to what we are looking at 23 for 1 in the
at the end of the third over. Yeah, so it's a nice brisk start for the tourists, and they would be very happy indeed. Speaking of tourists, we have some spectators who are just chilling, enjoying the cool conditions here at the Queen's Park Oval.
very cool and nice indeed down here, the Oval at this time. I mean, despite we had the heavy rains early on in the weekend, and this morning, some parts of Trinidad and Tobago experienced that. The Oval is cool at this time, and I think the man who will enjoy this type of conditions, I mean, Budu, who has the ball in his hand, left arm seamer.
And this one is in the air, but it's going to clear everybody and going to bounce once, twice into the fine leg boundary. And everything was kind of delayed there. You had to wait on it.
Yes, because the balls, it seemed to hit a spot there, and he came up slowly. The batsman just came forward and he picked it up very nice indeed and deposited it on the backward square leg boundary, you could say, over square leg for 4. Nice shot indeed. You could see the Indians, they are on the lookout to score off every delivery in this encounter.
The thing about them is that they they've found ways to put pressure on the Trinidad and Tobago bowlers. I mean, Budu, I must say, is also he's cut down his pace. He's looking for better control. That's more like it. That could be a wicket, and again, it's badly misjudged here because this was an opportunity for him to just stand where he was, Tobias, and take the catch, but he came sprinting in, and then the ball, he was going forward, the ball was going past him, and he was still rushing forward. Then he realized, oh my goodness, the ball is over my head, and then he had to give chase. So a bad miss there for Trinidad and Tobago. That could easily have been wicket number 2.
Oh yes, and what a wicket that would have been indeed. But Tobias, it may turn out to be a costly miss indeed because this man who got the run, he is in good nick.
Another good delivery again, just taking the pace off of it, Budu. I think he worked out that when he tries to bowl too quickly, he loses control. And so he's kind of cut his pace here. And I'm sure this is the coaches getting in his ear and telling him, what to do.
Yes, he's allowing the ball to do the work. I mean, he isn't pushing too much pace, but he's just allowing the ball to do the work on a wicket that might be assisting him somewhat.
That's another great shot. That too is going to head down to the long off boundary. The man from long on is trying to get there, but to no avail as that one goes rushing into the boundary despite the best efforts of Orion Murray. And that's 4 more. And look at it, he almost like flat butted that past the bowler and down past the man at mid off.
Yes, and the man admit of he seemed to be carrying some. He's a bit on the heavy side, Rusky.
He's a little portly.
Yeah, reportedly indeed. So once that get past him on this wicket, on this outfield, you'll find that it will be extremely difficult for him to recover.
Yeah, Christopher Gumansing. In fact, he's been one of the better players on the team, bowling and batting. And again, just trying to pull it down and try to get it to move back into the right-hander. But once he starts it early, it's going to stay going and going down leg side.
Yes, the umpire didn't hesitate to call it a wide because it went down the leg side, and Budu has to go to return to his mark and come again to get a better length and line.
He's trying to go the opposite way now. We could see him again, no real pace in the delivery, so he's just ambling up and asking the batsman to apply power to the ball. He's obviously hoping that they miscue it and maybe sky another catch, give him a chance at a wicket.
I think he got the pace right, but he just had to get it his direction a bit on target.
I said go right inside. Now that is another close one, indeed. And I'm surprised that they haven't really appealed unless it struck him very far outside the off stump. But that was a good delivery again, curling back in at the right hander and then dipping under the bat because he was trying to almost on the move, trying to play it through the onside, missed it, and survived.
Oh yes,
Curling going down leg as well.
yes. I thought I thought Bulu, but maybe he realized that very early indeed. That's why he didn't go up with any vehemently appealing or demanding a decision from the umpire. Maybe he realized that very early, but it was an excellent delivery indeed. Good delivery, good pace, and good direction.
So 35 for 1 after 4 now, and Nicholas Mohammed is going to continue. And this one is in the air. I thought he held on to it. Good diving effort again from Oren Murray. And this time he couldn't come up with it, but that would have been a spectacular catch.
Okay, exactly. Indeed, he made the ground. He got his hands still, but he just couldn't hold on. And this is the difference between the two teams. You got to hold on to your catches because had they done that, this would have been a tail wicket back in the pavilion, and it would have added more pressure onto the Indian team. But they survive, and the show goes on.
Yeah, so it's just the 1 wicket down so far as they push it up to 36 for 1 now. And that's another glorious shot. Won't get a boundary this time, but a shot that is deserving of a boundary. Hit it hard all along the ground, back past the bowler. But he only has 1 to show for it. Cricket could be a cruel game sometimes.
It could be a cruel game, and it could be a game of glorious uncertainties. When you say things are going to go one way, it changes one time. That's the game of this is what they call the game of cricket.
And they're gonna squeeze a single here, and not too far from the keeper. In fact, just a couple paces away from him. But he can't do much about it. So 1 by 1, they're just keeping the scoreboard ticking over 38 now for 1. The man out, Umar Ashraf, for 2.
And there were 2 missed chances, so at least the TNT team are not doing themselves justice.
Yeah, this is the one that they were looking for all along, trying to get under the delivery and picking this one up down to long on it goes. That's 4 runs, and that's more like it because once you give him the opportunity to free up his arms, you're asking for trouble there. And Sanju Sharma didn't need a second invite.
Oh yes, all he did was he cleared that right foot that right foot there, and he picked up the line and he deposited that one on the boundary ropes. Was it a 6 or 4? I
Four
took my
runs. Went for four. Yeah.
I took my eyes off of it.
Trying again, and that one hit the fielder, and it ricocheted all the way to the long on fielder. And that's Boodoo down there who completed the fielding. So it's almost every ball they're able to get a run.
That will tell you that the Indians they're on the lookout for every run, and so the TNT team supposed to be able to take all the catches, all the dismissals that come their way, and they have dropped two so far. Good shot.
Yeah, that's another good shot. So, but it's more runs. That's the worrying thing for Trinidad and Tobago. The batsmen are just jogging the runs. They're not under any real pressure. They've already clinched the series, and they're just looking to put the icing on the cake now. 45 for one, is it, or 47 for one at the end of over number 5?
So the TNT team did have their chances, but they have let the visitors off the hook, and they have themselves to blame for not to be in a better position. Because I'm sure when Captain Adams won the toss, he would have liked to have picked up 3 wickets, as happened. All three came their way, but they just were able to hold on to one, and that was the wicket in which Bulu dismissed Ashrafi, where he hit the leg stump. But the catches that went to hand, they went down. So you need to hold on to your catches to really snatch the advantage away from your opposition.
This is a battle that I think I'm looking forward to. And not there asking for trouble there, but when he's able to line up those deliveries, especially the ones that come with the arm, he's such a better bowler.
Yeah, he looks the best of the lot so far. I mean, of what we have seen so far, and he seemed to be a very quick learner, because he started off with a little pace, and then he cut the pace, and he's looking to allow the ball to to do the work, and he's a lot, and it's just his direction. He has to get his direction a little on target.
Here he goes again. This one is in the air once more, but that two is going to land safely, and that's going to be 4 more over the forward square leg position, over the head of the inner ring, and down to the boundary for 4. So you have the field out that says either you push him back or you bring him all the way up to the circle. But it makes no sense putting him 3/4 of the way out there, because he's not catching anything, and he can't cut off a single from that deep either.
Okay, yes, and that boundary brings up the 50 for the Indians. This is the fifth over. They're looking good.
Again, good sensible batting, taking the pace off of that one, showing that they are in tune to what is happening out there, keeping the fielding team kind of on the back foot.
Well, the sun has returned to the oval. We were under some a little clouds for the start of the game. The sun has returned, but with not in full glory, but half of his glory. And as Bulu is there, he's directing him if he's one before he goes up to deliver the next delivery. But the sun is with us at the Queens Park Oval, and let's hope that it will bring so much more delight to the TNT team.
Cadogan, the wicketkeeper, is busy conducting traffic, trying to move players into position. As one is hit over the head of the mid-on fielder, but the long on is there, and they're able to limit them to just the 1 run. Again, Murray coming across to do the honors.
Score is advanced by 1.
And again, just pushing it in that little corridor there and forcing the batsman. He knows that they're trying to get after him, but he's mixing it up quite nicely.
Yes, he knows exactly they are going to come after him, and he's looking to really to have a different link and line to upset them.
Again, trying his best here, but doing an exceptional job. Boodoo, he's not afraid to try things.
He's the man that got the first wicket, and he's looking to get even more to make some more inroads. But let's see how he progresses here.
And again, but this time it's called a wide. But again, the umpires are a little bit tough on him. But once they're consistent, I think players will be happy with that.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit was a not a harsh call, but it was a bit close to he could have gotten away with it, but the umpire has his eyes on what is going on. Keen eye.
And again, carved away nicely over the top and down to the backward point boundary for 4 more. As easy as taking candy from a baby.
So that's the end of the over, and the Indians continue to respond with boundaries, and with some quick singles. You find that they have just been able to lose 1 wicket, and they enter the 60s. What is score? 61, 57 for 1.
57 for 1 now after 6.
And the 6th over. So they're really moving along quite nicely indeed. They're striking at almost at the 10 runs and over.
Yeah, and that's a good clip to be operating under.
Yes, and having lost just 1 wicket, and you send him to bat. We see the umpire motioning that that's the end of the power play. Is it?
Yeah, the 6 overs are completed. So now they can relax the field a bit, place a couple more fielders out in the boundaries to platoon out there, cut off boundaries. But they also need to keep the players who are in this the circle, keep them active. And in fact, you could bring them in, some of them, bring them in start them a couple meters closer, just to try to get them to attack the ball. So coming into the attack now, Jamel Bonio. And he's had his moments. He's had some flashes of brilliance, and then he's been less than stellar on other occasions. Took one brilliant catch.
Bonio seems to be a right hand leg spinner. It doesn't be, but from the action I see from his first over.
Yeah, he looks like he's more of an off spinner.
Off spinner. But he's
Or let's just say he's bowling with an off break action.
they have lots of them around these days. They both have a big
Because
action,
he's
but they
not
do.
turning the ball
Yeah, not turning
very
the
well.
ball. Correct.
But if you can generate some spin, that might surprise everybody. But then even then he has to pitch up the ball a little bit more, try and find that length. And this one is carved away and it's gone all the way for 6 runs.
That's a big hit indeed, Rusky. That's a big one. That one really, 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 he put back the ball, he picked it up early, and he really hammered this one indeed. It cleared the boundary by some way. Good hit indeed. You can see the batsman, he wind up indeed, and he really, really put back the ball. That one, giving the fieldsman on the boundary, they had no chance at all to even have a close look at it. It went all the way for a big 6 indeed.
I didn't think he had hit it all that well, but it certainly had good contact. And again, this time there's cover out there. and they'll have to settle for just the 1 run. So when they're not hitting boundaries, they're just trying to accumulate runs all the time.
That's it. That's one of the essentials of a partnership. I mean, when you're not hitting the boundaries, you pick up the quick singles, and you keep the score clicking over.
And here is an appeal. Is he out? The umpire is unmoved. Well, he's moving, but he's moving to come and repair the damage done by the wicketkeeper.
Yes, there was. It seemed like that one had a little more bounce than usual, and the batsman went to play that big square drive, missed, and the keeper had to go up that distance and come down before he took off the base, and that must be the time factor which saved the batsman.
Now they're going to try again, and more confusion, but the batsman decided against it on this occasion. Because prior to that, maybe 2 overs ago, they actually ran a single in the general area, but this time they decided against the risk. Now they're going to try once more, and again, that's a good shot. And badly missed out in the deep there. He got around to it, Bodo, and then he just seemed to either he forgot to put his hands down, his legs went sliding from under him, and that was all that was needed for the ball to go past him. Look at it here. He seemed to get around quite nicely, and then when it was time to go down, he seemed to get his body all into a tangle there, and missed out because he got so close to the ball that he got his body rather than his hands behind the ball, and he couldn't stop it because the ball had gone behind him slightly. And that, as they say, was that 69 for one now after 7.
So that is four easy runs that was given away in the field by the TNT team, and I think that they need to be a little more tighter in the ground fielding, and because that one wasn't all that difficult. But when you give away easy runs like that, it comes back. It comes back to haunt you, and sometimes it can haunt you big at times because the batsman he will be building upon his personal total, and the team's total will also be advancing, and that could put pressure upon the fielding team at their turn of the crease. So I think the TNT team will have to be a little more tighter in their approach when it comes to stopping those boundaries.
It's going to be Murray who's going to pick up the attack now. Orion Murray. Just checking his field to make sure that players, the right numbers are where they're supposed to be. And again, they take a little while to set the fields. Cadogan is the man setting the fields from his position behind the stumps. Let's see if he can really tighten up here now and get it right. They've been having a tough time with their over rates. They've not been able to really, because think back to how long ago that ball, you know, the last ball was bowled.
Yeah, at least you could see with Murray, he has this slight stutter in his run up, but he's good delivery indeed.
Feeling for a catch at the wicket, not out, says the umpire.
And I think they need to be a little more quicker when it comes to the over rate. I mean, there's how the ball gets back to the bowler.
Yeah, gonna have to really manufacture something here at Trinidad and Tobago. It's not coming easy for them. And almost every ball they can almost like clockwork, pinch a single or two.
Yeah, and the batsmen they notice that once the ball the bat makes contact with the ball, wherever it goes, they are going to get a single. And if it goes past the fieldsman, well, they can double up. And if the ball hits if the bat hits the ball with any amount of power, it will go to the boundary. So the batsman realizes that at this time, and they are going to be ready, pressing to put every bit of uh, anxiety on the fieldsmen, make them come under pressure, make them make mistakes as they are not approaching with all that speed.
And another glorious shot, but good field placing there, just trying to limit the scoring as much as possible.
Yeah, that was a good shot and a good delivery indeed. And it went straight to the fieldsman who picked up well, and it went back to the keeper. So it was good all round cricket with that delivery. And I think Murray will be quite pleased indeed. And the TNT team will be feeling a bit of relief from that delivery because it went straight to the fieldsman. And there was just just a single came out of that shot.
Uh, I would like to go past the bat, maybe. And this one is in the air again. It's going to fall safely. And they just can't seem to Trinidad and Tobago right now. They say you have to create your own luck sometimes. And none of the players, I don't know if they have any garlic in the pockets or anything like that.
Yes,
I still remember a long time when you used to put the garlic in your pocket.
very much so. You would have, especially a club level when you're up against some of the powerful teams and you want to get a batsman out quickly. You put the garlic in the pocket, man. But
Again, the field placing, they're changing the field almost after every ball. So, and 1 minute he's sent out on the boundary, now he's being brought back in at the circle. There's a square leg on the boundary of long on, long off, and a deep cover all on the boundary. Now they're going to try again. That's hit nicely. That's in the air. This could be a challenging, well, it is a six. For a moment there, you could see the man, Guman Singh, coming across, trying to get into position there, but then only to watch the ball sail over his head and in front of him for another six. Very good shot again.
excellent shot indeed. You could say that, and that's a good cricket shot indeed. He picked it up early and he lifted it over the mid off deep in the man on the mid on the boundary there. He cleared him by some meters quite easily indeed.
And he's bowled him. Brilliantly done indeed. He was trying to run it down Sharma, trying to maybe nudge it and run, but he has to go now for 46. Very well played, 46. But what a breakthrough that is there for Murray.
Good comeback delivery indeed for Murray. After being clobbered for six, he came back, he held his nerve, he held his concentration, and he came back with a wonderful comeback delivery that hit the stump of Sharma. So it is a good, it shows that the type of character that he has, that he's been able to come back from adversity after being put high and hard for six. He came back and got the wicket. So Sharma is back there, and the score moves on to where we are now. Rusky, we are
80, 80 for 2.
80 for 2. And had when you look back at the two missed chances, the TNT team could have been in a much more easier breathing condition. But that's cricket. You gotta hold on to your chances when they come your way, and if you don't, then it comes back to haunt you. But it is a good wicket indeed for Murray to pick up the wicket of Sharma, and he was bowled no better sight for a bowler when you can hit the stump. Roski?
That's always the main thing that you're looking for. You want to hit top of middle, top of off, and but you can also hit the base of the stumps too. You're going to take that. The general idea is to try to bowl close to the stumps, or if not on the stumps, as much as possible. And because a lot of times batsmen are not going to take chances if the ball is too close to the stumps. They tend to free their arms when they have to drive or cut or pull. But if the ball is in line with the stumps, invariably the response is almost always a defensive one, particularly if the wicket has um, some, some give on it. And but here, the two deliveries that got the wickets were two very, very good deliveries.
Yes, good deliveries indeed. Very good deliveries indeed. They were well directed, and it shows that the bowlers they have something something in their armory. I mean, where they can use they can move this ball around a little, and it was two good deliveries that really sent back the two batsmen. So coming to the crease now is the new batsman is Mr.
Abhishek Singh,
Abhishek Singh.
but he's at the non-strikers end.
Yes, because that was at the end of the over.
That's another good shot. Again, finding ways to accumulate runs. That's the important thing here. Borneo trying his bit.
Yeah, Borneo is in his second over, but I think he has to take it up a little more to the batsman. He had been a bit too wide off the off stump, but again, allowing the batsman that room to really cut him down to third man, or to or short third man, or all the way down to the boundary. He needs to be a little closer to the stumps when it comes, and he's bowling at a good pace, at a nice gentle pace.
Again, not a bad delivery. A little bit of jump there, but again, it's so slow. And they're going to get a second run now. This has happened all the time. There might be even more runs here. They're going to get a third one now. So clearly, they haven't learned their lessons yet from this happening in almost every game. They go through this little brain freeze here where they forget that they don't need to throw the ball back to the keeper. If you're doing so, make sure it gets to him, and they don't back up properly. And then when they do get the ball in, it's probably not the best throw to the keeper, and Cadogan has had a tough time. And another short ball that is dealt with, but only the single this time.
Yes, Borneo, that one was short there, and the batsman gave it the full treatment, a square cut. You could say to point, deep point. The fieldsman picked up and returned it well, but I think Borneo he can take it up a little more, a bit too short, and a little bit too wide of outside the off stump. He needs to take it a little closer to the stump to see what's happening again.
And
This
yep, not signal wide, which is he was really fetching it outside the off stump there.
quite fortunate indeed not to be called a wide.
And it's in the air, but that's well played. Again, that's going to run close to the boundary, and it's going to go into the boundary, a deep backward square. And that's four more good-looking runs there.
Four more to the Indian total, and they seem to be just pushing on and making use of every scoring opportunity.
And what is even more impressive is that they're finding the boundary with regularity now, and that is going to be a little bit worrying for the Trinidad and Tobago camp. They can't seem to stem the flow of runs, but more particularly boundaries. And when they're not hitting boundaries, they're busy themselves running between the wickets.
And that I think that will be a major concern for the TNT team because they, as you rightfully mentioned, Ruskin, you have the boundaries and then you have the singles. About the boundaries, it will be major concern because that will be sending this total in this T20 encounter to a phenomenal total at the end of the 20. So if they continue along these lines here, it will make that run chase a bit difficult for the TNT team when their turn at the crease come.
It is. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Trinidad and Tobago batsmen stack up against the Indian attack. But right now, the bowlers are the ones who are taking center stage, so they need to try to limit the damage of the Indian batsmen, and the best way to do that is to take wickets.
Yes, indeed. They need to pick up wickets and they need to really stem the flow in which the boundaries are coming at regular intervals.
Full pitch delivery and put away nicely. That's four more. Again, you could see Goman Singh trying to get across there, but to no avail.
As we mentioned there, Ruskin, I mean, the boundaries are coming at the, almost every over. You get two or three of them, and that is worrying because it means that the total will be advancing at a very rapid pace, and it can be some great concern to the TNT skipper Devon Adams because he will be thinking, what total are we going to be chasing down here against this well-oiled Indian team?
Well, they've certainly taken their time to get into position, but they're there now. And here's another delivery that just sizzled past the off stump. Again, the batsman looking to cut, but I think the lack of pace in the ball is what is creating the problems because they'd much rather it coming on to the bat a little bit more.
Yeah, you find that the color of the wicket, indeed, I suggested that earlier on, that the ball isn't really coming on as it normally does here at the Queen's Park for a dry wicket. But this one, it seemed to be there seemed to be some moisture there.
That's a good delivery coming back at the right hander. The ball just kept out of the pads and punched into the offside for another single.
And this is the second game being played on this wicket, so the preparation will be limited. So there isn't much much work done on this wicket. But it is a good wicket so far. Once the bowlers know exactly how to handle it, and once they pitch in the right areas.
Yeah, that has been the challenge for them to consistently find those areas. That's not bad. That's brilliantly done, and they're almost finding the edge again. Not for the first time. Abhijit Singh is flirting outside that off stump there to Orion Murray.
Yes, and Murray seems to he blows hot and cold quite often. Oh, some good deliveries here. He's bowling around the wicket.
Nicely played again, and immediately they set off for the second run. And the return is an underarm return from into deep, and the batsmen have more than enough time to touch down for a second run. And these are the areas that I think that if I would have been the coach of this team, those are the areas that you'd spend a lot of time just to teach them the rudiments of the game and when to use those rudiments.
Good delivery indeed. Onto the pads of the batsman. But he finds it turns around.
Yep.
There's two runs there.
How often have we seen the ball go for what effectively might have been an overthrow? As the ball goes through, and that will be that. That's the end of over number 10, and they're able to pick up another couple quite comfortably in the end. So they remain on course, and as the players are heading off to get some refreshments, it's still a good opportunity here. 100 for 2 at the moment after 10 overs.
Yes, we are the halfway mark, I think the Indian team will be really pleased with their progress so far, having the 10 overs and 100 on the board. They'll be looking towards the other 10, maybe to get to 200.
We get to continue the innings when we come back.
Cancer, whether you have it or your doctors are looking for it, only a PET scan can give the critical details. First world countries now use PET scans instead of CT scans. Get the right scan. Get a PET scan. Call us for a free consultation. Cancer, whether you have it or your doctors are looking for it, only a PET scan can give the critical details. First world countries now use PET scans instead of CT scans. Get the right scan. Get a PET scan. Call us for a free consultation. Cancer, whether you have it or your doctors are looking for it, only a PET scan can give the critical details. First world countries now use PET scans instead of CT scans. Get the right scan. Get a PET scan. Call us for a free consultation. Cancer, whether you have it or your doctors are looking for it, only a PET scan can give the critical details. First world countries now use PET scans instead of CT scans. Get the right scan. Get a PET scan. Call us for a free consultation.
So, to welcome you back here. We just seen the first delivery that delivered from Nyron Noel. And yesterday, unfortunately, he didn't get a chance to bowl. But here he is now. And I think a lot of people would be very happy if he could pick a pepper or two.
Well, this is his second delivery, and that one went wide outside the off stump indeed. So the first one was legitimate, and the second one was, well, it went for a wide, and the umpire made sure that the scorers up in the stands picked up his signal.
And that's another good delivery. They're appealing for an LBW, but there might have been some bat on it.
Wasn't a bad delivery indeed. It was pretty good delivery. The batsman went to for this big shot and missed.
And again, and he bowled them. Well. A big swing and a miss there by Kuldeep. And he has to go. It's 101 now for 3.
And what a delivery indeed! It was a replica of the delivery before, because this one wasn't was on the wicket. He missed, and he was bowled all over the place. The previous delivery, he went for the big drive, missed also, and it didn't go into the stumps. There was a loud appeal for that. Let's have a look at this one.
He dragged it on.
He
Yeah.
dragged it on indeed. So once the bowlers can hold that length and line and allow the batsman to make the mistake, then they can there's a possibility that you can pick up a wicket or two. And there you see it here. Like I was saying before, the delivery before was a similar one to this one. But this one there, he went for it. He hit the inside edge and he went onto the stumps. So that's the third wicket down. The score is 101 for 3. And we are into the 11th over.
So Naira Noel, who many felt could be a key component for Trinidad and Tobago in this series. He played in yesterday's game, but he didn't get to bowl by the time the rains fell and the Duckwood Lewis system set in. India had just one ball from the what was it, the 11th over, the 12th over, and remaining, and then overs 13 and 14 to bowl. So he missed out there, but today he's getting his opportunity, and he's already picked up a pepper. So Ankit Jangir is the new batsman.
Oh yeah, that delivery, that wicket will have done well a lot of good indeed. Will boost his confidence because this is his third delivery. And I mean, if as you mentioned, he missed, he didn't was given a chance yesterday, didn't get a chance. Today is his day, you could say.
And that's nicely played. And immediately he's off the mark.
So Noel will be making use of every opportunity he has been given, and he already, as you said, he already picked up pepper, already picked up a wicket, and he was looking to get to add maybe a few more to his tally.
And a little too short there, but the batsman, look at how quickly they're moving now, the batsman, this pair. So they're putting pressure on the Trinidad and Tobago players at all times with their aggressive running between the wickets.
And they know once they put on a good total, it will create some anxiety within the TNT camp among the batsmen when it's their turn to chase down this total. They know that, so they're going to be pushing for every run that present itself.
It's another sweet drive and another single. So they are good. They're real masters of creating these opportunities for singles. But that ends the over. A good one from Noel. 1 for 5 from it. It's 105 for 3 now after 11.
So just 5 runs coming from that over. Not a bad over indeed from Noel, and he will be looking to complete maybe his quota of overs and maybe add some wickets to it as the batsmen and fieldsmen pick up their various positions and the umpire also. So there is a nice sunshine returning now and then. We've been blessed with some cloud cover, and now we've been given a nice sunshine. There's some, so the players will welcome that because sometimes when you're in the middle out there, you need to feel the sun on your back sometimes.
Sometimes you look for shade,
Especially when there is
especially when you're under pressure.
under pressure. And there are lots of you've been running down runs,
Yep.
and the ball all over the place. So there's equity in this game.
Yep. So it's nice. The ground is bathed in sunshine, so that's a good sign. And another glorious straight drive. A good bit of fielding now from Borneo, attacking the ball, coming in and picking up the ball, driven hard down the ground again.
And this series will be a very an eye-opening series for the TNT team. They will have learned so much, Ruskin, at the end of this series that they will know what cricket the type of demands this game requires.
Yeah, they will learn about it. That's nicely played again, but very well bowled. They're taking their time. Now they're going for the second run. It's almost like they were beginning to lull Borneo to sleep. And just when he took his eyes off of it, all he needed was a simple bubble, and they were back for a second.
That's the alertness of the batsman, because once you make that slight error, that slight judgment, slight error in judgment, the batsmen, they are making full use of it. And that, as I was saying before, I mean, this is a very learning experience for the TNT team. This has to be one of the big occasions for them when it comes to playing at the international level, playing their Indian counterparts, and they will learn so much at the end of the series.
I think it goes without saying that's a brilliant shot, and that's 4 runs, and that was played very late indeed. In fact, I remember when Lawrence Shaw used to bat, he said he used to cut the ball so late it was absent sometimes.
Oh yes, and that one was well cut indeed, and there's nobody in that in the slip area, in the slip region. There's just a man on the a third man, you can say, or deep gully, or right down to the boundary, and the batsman just came forward and played a late cut indeed, very late indeed, and that one found the boundary rope with quite easily indeed. So the boundaries continue to pile on, and the Indian batsmen continue to press on.
It's up to 112 now. For 3, Jangir is on 7. Singh is on 9 at the. And another delivery that came in and didn't go anywhere near he intended it to. He was driving at it, Jangir, trying to hit it through the offside. Hugged it on the onside, coming off the inner portion of the bat and probably the under portion of the bat as well.
I think is that will save him having hit the under portion of the bat, because it could have just crashed into the stumps. I mean, had it hit the inner portion, but that saves him. But he got 2 runs indeed for in exchange. I think he will settle for that. Or he lost his run.
Yep. He's just somehow he's trying to regain his momentum here. Get that rhythm going again. Has a wicket to his name. Would like another one, I'm sure.
And he's in the 12th over. So after this, there'll be 8 more to complete the full quota of T20 cricket. Their innings, indeed.
Well, they need something here. Quickly, Trinidad and Tobago. Wickets, that's what it is. That's a full toss that swung away high in the air. And another maximum just going over the square leg fence, the ropes at square leg. This one went high in the air. He didn't try to hit it. He just sort of put the bat there, allow it to hit the bat, and then just with a little bit of wrist movement, helped it high in the air. No chance of anybody catching that one. That one went for 6. It's 120 now for 3.
I think this is where the TNT team needs to be a little more tight with when it comes to the Lincoln line of the bowlers. They need to tighten up there, because the scoring rate is really climbing indeed.
Yeah, it's could be worrying right now. And again, they're going for 1. They might get a second if they hurry, and they decide against it. Because that would have been suicidal had they gone back for that second run there. Jangir was keen on it though.
Oh yes, but and one thing I noticed clearly when Murray went for that of his own bowling, no one came to the wicket to back up at the wicket. So the batsmen gone for that that second run, and then there will be no one at the non-strikers end at the wicket to really assist to take the bails off to insert the run out. So these are things that you got to be quick thinking. You got to be always be on when you're playing this game of cricket, especially when you are up against batsmen who are very very alert and looking to push on. You need to be always be turned on at every moment.
Up a little bit of a pensive crowd here watching proceedings here. They would love a wicket or two, something to cheer about. And I think they've seen enough runs, so they don't want that. They want wickets now for TNT. And it looks as if it's Noel is going to continue.
Yes, Noel is the man who has the ball in his hands.
And they're going to rely on him to kind of take them through here. He is a quite capable bowler, as you can see. He does have the deficiency, and I think Cadogan is. I'm not sure if he got struck in the face or what, but unless something went into his eyes, but he seemed to be. Oh, he got hit on his forearm. It looked like. So they're probably going to need some spray, that magic spray.
Yes, some the medical team will look after him, and the magic spray will come out. I saw when the bowler motioned and the umpire called for the medic to come on the field of play.
Yeah, I didn't see the incident, but and I thought he had made a good stop, but I don't know if it entailed the bat probably coming through and striking him on the forearm.
Oh, yes, because it happens so easily and so quickly because after the delivery it came, we saw the signal came because we thought it all was from the bowler. Batsman played a shot, missed, and it went through to the keeper. But maybe the bat came into play somewhere along the line, and they had to call on the medic to look after the keeper to make sure that he's okay.
It
But
also gives
Dugan?
them an opportunity to regroup here, talk a little bit among themselves.
Yes, it is so important when you're up against it. Let's see what happened here on this replay.
And he just took the ball, but I'm not sure. And immediately could see him start to rub that forearm area closer to the elbow.
So I don't know if the ball struck the on that portion of the hand close to the elbow is very sensitive when it comes to being hit with a delivery of a with a ball. So me, I don't know.
But I don't know if that incident, if the injury occurred at all. It probably did not occur in that particular incident because there was nothing in it, really. The batsman kind of had a go at the ball. He missed it. The wicketkeeper came up with it, and then he came up injured.
So it must have been he must have aggravated something there that from before, maybe in the previous game or maybe during the training sessions. But the fieldsmen are all taken up their various positions, and the batsmen also. The umpire, he's looking around the field and making sure that all is well, and he's having a head count.
Yeah, Trinidad and Tobago has to be spot on here. They cannot afford two things. The field placing has to be better, and the bowling, the lines and the length, they have to be a little more consistent. And let's see what he can do again. And once more, the singles are on. It's almost as if they know exactly what they're trying to do. And immediately on playing the shot, they set off for the singles.
And that is one of the areas in which the TNT team they have to be a little more alert when to put pressure upon the batsmen, make them understand that they cannot get a single that easily. That play it straight to the fieldsman and go for the run. They must be given that challenge in um, effort from the fieldsman.
And that's one is badly missed again. It's going close to the boundary. Should be cut off. The man comes around, and Adams does the needful, the captain. They're limiting them to just the 2 runs. But again, a diving stop there, trying to keep it on Nigel London, but the ball just eluded his grasp. And down it went close to the boundary. And here's a repeating for a catch. The umpire says not out. The batsman is he walking? The wicketkeeper Cadogan is claiming the catch. And the umpire is, well, he's going to take some convincing. Noel is pleading his case as well.
And Cadogan, the wicketkeeper, he's still having his say with the presiding umpire. He is convinced that something happened there, that the man that he has taken the catch, and he's explaining to them exactly what happened. The square leg is on move, and the presiding umpire, he's unmoved, and Cadogan has to make his way all the way back to the behind the stumps. There was some excitement.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it again after this delivery, and it slapped away nicely. They might go back for the second run. They decide against it, and they'll settle for the one. So if we could take a look at that incident again, and you'd see at the very end that there might have been some glove.
And that is what Cadogan was claiming, that there is some glove.
And this one again, he's gotten his man. This time, he has prized him out. He's been flirting with that wicket for some time. And finally, the big fella has taken the catch. And this time, he didn't need to go sliding anywhere. And Borneo has delivered for Noel. And that is the end there of Jangir. He was trying to force the issue.
What a catch indeed from Borneo indeed. That one was hit with some power, but it wasn't well placed. But and Borneo went across. He stuck out his hand, and the ball remained in his hands. So at least fortune favors the brave. I think Borneo was quite brave indeed to make the attempt. And you see, as you mentioned earlier, Ruskin, this TNT team must create its own chances. They just can't lay back and allow it to come their way. They have to go up to it. They have to create the chances and take the chances. And that one was a typical example, a typical case from Borneo, where he went for it, he saw it, he went for it, and it came off. And Noel is a happy man, having picked up his second wicket in this encounter. And as you said, he has the goods, he has the stuff, and he's very, very happy indeed. He has picked up 2 wickets. The score has advanced to 124 for 4, and we are in the 14th over.
Yep, and it's I think they have the two batsmen kind of mixed up here. We'll double check it to see, but I'm sure it is Jangir who was out caught there for 2, or the number 2, I should say, caught for 18. But they've given out Abhishek Singh, but I think Abhishek Singh is still at the crease as getting ready to face up
To Cadogan, the big man.
Yep. Actually, yep, it's Guman Singh.
Guman Singh is it? Yes, Guman Singh, not Cadogan. Guman Singh is a man, the big man himself. He is making sure that all things are right for him. All the fieldsmen are in the right places. and they will be a bit buoyant having seen that catch from Borneo. These are the type of things that really move the spirit of a team, Ruskin.
Yes, it is. And actually, Jangir is still out there. He's on 18. And add 4 more to that, just like that. Brilliant shot indeed.
Exactly, on the pads, right up on the pads, and the new man is that is it let's see.
Actually, I'm correct. Jangir is the man who was out,
Right, so
and this is Abhishek Singh.
Abhishek Singh, yes,
Played a brilliant shot there.
his
And
pads, yes.
yep,
Nice shot indeed. That one was served up right for him, and he played it. And the Indian batsmen, they seem to always enjoy playing off the pads because on the subcontinent the ball doesn't come up at all at a high level. So they are specialists in this area.
down the wicket he goes. He was really giving him the charge there. But to his credit, he saw him coming there, Guman Singh. I just kind of dropped it in front of him there. So the crowd really urging on Trinidad and Tobago. They're trying to create more problems here. That's another good shot.
That one went all the way down to Buru, who made a clean stop, and he turned it well back to the bowler, and they were just restricted to just 1 run. So the score has moved on to 129 for 4.
And again, finesse. Just tickling it there, Ahmad. But a leg by signal by the umpire. So Trinidad and Tobago much improved today. And it just shows you that if they get to play regularly and play as a team, who knows, as they say, the sky is the limit. Another one down to long on and limiting them to just the 1 run. So Guman Singh again continuing to keep things tight. What he doesn't want to do now is to deliver a 4 ball or a boundary ball of any kind. Just a 1 delivery left in this over, 1 legal delivery. And just as I said, so he does exactly that and concedes a 6. So that has been the kind of the pattern for the Trinidad and Tobago team. They would do some things good and then somehow find a way to spoil it all. And that was a delivery that was just asking to be hit there. Nice full toss on the pads. And the score jumps up quickly to 137 now for 4.
We are into the 15th over. So just as you mentioned before, I mean, it will this TNT team will really benefit from this level of competition. And as you mentioned previously, as Guman Singh, he bowled 5 good deliveries, and the 6th one, well, it was asking to be hit, and it was hit for a maximum all the way to for 6. So that is where these are the areas in which we have seen that this TNT team has to tighten up on. They're attacking. They have to attack the ball with a little more urgency, and they need to get their length and line the bowlers. It seemed like if the rains is coming at this time, and the
Yes,
umpires are looking around.
well, the ground staff, they have to really be at the ready here because the wicket is taking a good little wetting here. Although it must be said that the umpire is going to take them off because the rain is coming down. This is a sharp shower.
Oh
It
yes,
mightn't last very long, but the ground staff not really in the position, and it might subside, but it could freshen up the wicket. That's this little shower here.
Yes, indeed, and I was a bit surprised that the ground staff didn't. They were not on the ready for this one because I know ground staffs here, as they see it, they get ready at a moment's notice.
For short ball, punished. Noel way too short, and hammered square for a boundary.
So that sharp shower has subsided, but we still have a little sprinkler coming over the ground itself, and that one and that delivery well was greeted with a nice square cut indeed that went all the way to the boundary, and it must have freshened up the old field because the ball traveled at quite a good pace as it went as it hit the ropes.
So gripping the ball could be an issue now as well. So they have to be so careful here, Trinidad and Tobago. They've done well so far. You don't want to give it away, and don't want to start leaking big runs in these overs. But uh, Noel has put in a good shift here. 2 for 12. He's in his third over, and he's looking for more, but he conceded another boundary here. And this is what I'm talking about. You don't want to give them the margin for error is so small.
Especially
Go ahead.
especially when you're coming down to the to the closing stages of this innings. Indeed, the margin of error has to be very small indeed. And the TNT team seem to be giving them too much of a laxity.
And again, the rain is back with us once more, so it's playing a little cat and mouse here.
It is, but it seems to be coming a little harder this time.
And there's a spectator just calmly walking across the photographer trying to get a vantage point, but paid no attention to the fact that the bowler was about to bowl, and not only now trying to get into the covered section. And this one is sat up there and it's going, but one bounce. Hit hard, but not able to get it past the big man out there, Tobias.
And he collected well and I returned it well. But to my amazement, I'm not seeing the groundsmen. They are making no movement to get to the covers because there are covers to our right and to our left.
Let's see what they're able to.
So maybe they know something that we don't know about.
The rain isn't. It's going to fall, but it's going to be short, sharp showers, and so they probably figure, look, makes no sense. Let the players play and see what happens. In the meantime, the Indians continue to keep the scoreboard ticking over. And another brilliant cut shot. This time there's a fielder platooning out there, and again they're going to go back for a second run. So they're not mixing matters at all.
So I see the Indian batsmen. Um, they have called on for some maybe some refreshment or maybe so to the drying of the hands or the bat or something like that.
Yeah,
Something to that era. To that.
yeah, they've been running a lot, so they probably need a little refreshment. Just to wet the throat there.
Yeah, because they've been really busy between the wickets indeed, trying to squeeze as much runs as possible in this encounter. 149 for 4, and we are moving into the 16th over now.
They've done very well so far. So when you consider yesterday in 14 overs, they were 161 for two. Today, 15 overs, they only 149. So a bit of an improvement for Trinidad and Tobago. Can they finish up strong? That's the question here.
Well, I think that the TNT skipper Adams will be hoping that his team can do that.
Bordeaux is back, and they're going to go back for a second run as well. There's no way they should be getting 2 runs there. The ball hit down to long on, but it only gets halfway, just to the edge of the circle. But the man coming to Borneo, who's coming off the boundary, couldn't get there in time, and they went back for a second run.
Yes, indeed. It shows that the player has to attack the ball with a little more urgency to make sure that he limits them to just a single.
Again, let's see what he can do. And a wide signal by the umpire, but you could see him swinging for the fences now. And just a little change in attitude here with the batting.
Yes, it seems so. From what we're looking at here for this over, the batsman he seemed to be well. We are going for broke for everything that is pitched up and that is there to be hit. We are going to be putting everything into it. We're going to hit it out to try to hit it out of the ground, indeed, and aim for a maximum. The boundaries must continue to flow as far as they're concerned.
And that's a good delivery again, coming back in. Now, will they go for the second? Yes, they will. And there's nobody at the wicket. They only now arriving, and the batsmen are able to easily complete the second run. And in fact, they're toying with the Trinidad and Tobago fielders now, threatening to take a third run even from there.
Yeah, because they realize that they have the upper hand, and they are going to control things at this time. They're going to dictate the pace to the TNT fieldsmen.
And this one is up in the air. This could be out caught. He's waiting, and then he misjudges it badly. Never really got a chance at it. The ball was high in the air. Joel Piper never got into position to take that catch. It just seemed to elude him because he was standing. He looked like he was under the ball. Then at the very last minute, it just seemed to be going over his head, and it fell just behind him.
Yes, and that's another chance, another opportunity going down. This is the third one, and easy chances indeed. That should have been taken, and I think Bodo would be quite disappointed.
And again, and that one is in the gap. There is cover out there, but they're sprinting back here quickly for the second run.
And the sun has returned to the Queen's Park Oval with not in all its glory, but there is a great amount of light here. So after the two sharp little showers, we are back with some light, some sunlight at the Queen's Park Oval. So things are changing rapidly here.
Yeah, they could see them just changing gears now, trying to get as many as they possibly can, and then you give them full tosses like that, they will take full advantage.
Yes, you cannot afford to bowl this type of delivery at this juncture in the game and hope to get away with it. That one was hit for the maximum indeed. A full toss, and it was given the treatment. It picks the score to way past 150. 50. We are up in the 60s now. Let's see what.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Again, full toss, given the full treatment. And just spoiling his figures a little bit here, Bodo. He's bowled well, picked up 2 wickets, and I'm sure he would like to finish him as strong. Another full toss. And they're going back for the second run there. This is good running, good aggressive running.
They are making maximum use of every scoring opportunity. When they're not hitting the boundaries, they are turning ones into twos, and this is good running indeed. I think they understand exactly what total they have set themselves, and they are going after it. We see that the wicketkeeper, Kadugun, as he's walking halfway back to one of the emergency fieldsmen, or one of the
He was just getting a helmet.
a change of
Yeah, so probably as a precaution, the wicketkeeper is going to utilize a helmet.
yes, he passes. It's saying something to his captain.
So we have another slight delay here. In the meantime, the batsman again got some refreshments.
They're making sure that they keep they have the energies up when it comes to running between the wickets. So they use this opportunity to really make sure that they are ready for anything that is being presented to them. 165 for 4.
Yep. Can he get a Chan Noel tries out another one here? I think they're going to rely on him to see if he could get them through. This is his final over. 2 for 21.
You're pretty all right. Not a bad spell indeed. Not a bad spell at all.
Cannot be short outside the off him. He gets cut away quite frequently.
So let's see how he's going to work this one, because he cannot be short outside the off him, as you rightly point out, Ruskin. And he needs to really have a tight control with Lincoln 9.
And that's better because they know the batsmen are trying to get after him, and they're going to concede 2 runs. But that, again, is careless because there's no way that the ball should be able to pass Noel there. He seemed to have it covered, and then he didn't.
Yes, indeed. And I think bowler will be a bit disappointed indeed. And he has switched from well, in the previous overs, he was bowling around the wicket. Now he's coming over the wicket. So maybe he's looking to have a different line and angles here.
And edged away, and a good tumbling stop there by Guman Singh. He looked for a moment like he was in trouble there as the ball was spinning and turning away from him.
Yes, and Guman Singh, he made an excellent stop indeed, because had that ball gone past him, he would have had to really make up a lot of grounds. And he's not the smallest and fastest of men on the field of play. So he made a great stop indeed.
Well, he had to put in the dive there because had he not put in the dive, it probably would have just spun past him. And here's another full toss. This could be a wicket. And the catch is taken. That's a good catch. Taken out in the deep. And really a shot that I don't think Suna Ahmed really wanted to play there. He was trying to middle it and couldn't. And that's the end of his brief little innings there. He went for 20. And he has to head back now. But another wicket for Noel. He's a very popular man.
Yes, Noel had picked up his third wicket indeed. And when we came on, we said he missed out yesterday because he played yesterday, but he didn't get the opportunity to bowl as long as he wanted to. But today he was given that opportunity and he made full use of it. He has 3 wickets in the bag so far. And you can see the celebration there on the replay.
Champions, boy. Champions, all of them. And it's a lot of fun for them. And it's good to see because it means that they're enjoying what they're doing out there. So Bodo is the man who took the catch.
Lovely catch indeed, and that is one thing about this game. It's a tough game. It's a game that's you only bring the rewards that you put in, and when there's time to celebrate, you need to celebrate.
Yeah, they're having a lot of fun.
A lot of fun indeed.
Have not much to cheer about, but there's whenever they take wickets, they go all out.
Yes, the score remains at 168 for 5, and we're in the 17th over. In 17th over, 3 overs after this. And then we'll see the run charge, the run chase. But as you mentioned, not much to cheer about. But when they are given that opportunity, they make full use of it. Uh, but when they look at the total, they know that it will take some doing. Looking at their previous scores in this series so far, then it is a bit of an uphill struggle for them if they're going to get close to this 168 plus total.
Well, the new batsman has arrived at the crease. Vaibhav Singh, or Vaibhav Kumar, rather.
Kumar.
And so he's taking his time. I think they're trying to make sure that they get the field set just right. And again, reaching at the delivery outside the off stump and playing and missing. Now let's see if he could end this over now. Two deliveries, two legitimate deliveries left. And that's better. How often have you seen that still where they're afraid to throw the ball in to the bowler and they take all the pace off of it, they lob it to him and the batsman run a single.
That's right.
So the main thing is get the ball in. And here's a chance again. That's good cricket. Doing very well indeed. And Noel showing that despite his limitations, he's basically playing with one hand and he's still there to give maximum effort. 169 for 5 now, 17 gone.
And that's the end of the over indeed. And that's the end of Noel's spell. He has a good spell indeed. It's 3 for 27, 3 for 26 of his allotted overs. So he has done his bit. And as you said, he's limited in his movement. But he has done his bit. And he can be a proud man. He can walk throughout the field thinking that I've done a full a day's work. And I have earned my keep on this team. 3 wickets to his credit.
Yeah, he's done very well indeed. In fact, they were always saying that he would have been among the better bowlers on the Trinidad and Tobago team. He didn't play every game, and but I think they missed him. And you saw why today, just how economical he is and how penetrative he could be. 3 for 25 from his 4 overs.
Excellent figures indeed from this young man. He bowled well indeed. He did have his moments where he was a bit outside the off stump and played the price, but all in all, he kept it pretty tight. 3 for 25 of his 4 overs.
Jamal Bonio, and again getting away with that one there. The umpire didn't signal the wide, although it passed over the bat. You try again, and I think the batsmen are frustrated here because they can't get at the bowlers the way they would like. So can Trinidad and Tobago build on that frustration? And they're cut away nicely, but just a 1 run. And well, just the one has now turned to 2 because he couldn't pick up the ball in the deep. And how often have we seen that?
That has been the story of the day's play for the TNT fielders. They get to it very slow indeed, and allowing the batsman to get 2 instead of the 1.
And another opportunity for a single. And this time they get the return in quickly and limiting them to just a 1 run. So that's good cricket. So now they will have another slight delay because one of the batsmen is doing a little bit of repairs to his shoe, maybe tying his laces. Kumar, but he's ready. He's on four. That's a good shot again, but he cannot get it through. And it looks as if Mohammed got his hands to it.
Good stop indeed from Mohammed. It was a nice shot, and the batsman just came forward and played a nice shot indeed, an extra cover drive, and Mohammed made a save, and he must have saved about at least 2 runs.
Yeah, that was traveling, as is that one. And they could only get the single. Again, good cricket all around, but once again, the ball bubbled. And just that split second is what it takes to the batsman to get home.
This is the area we all see and believe that the TNT team will have to tighten up on to really get that ball in and to make the a clean stop.
And swing and a miss. That's golden at this stage here when you could bowl a dot ball. You know the batsmen are coming after you, and you could produce a dot ball like that. Eventually, they're able to get it into the deep, and going to go back for the second run. They'll get it too. And that completes the over. So not a bad over. 176 now after 18.
Two to go following this, but this is we are coming down to the stage where the Indian batsmen will really be throwing caution to the wind in their running and the wind which they'll be going after the bowlers. I think the TNT fieldsmen will be they'll realize that these two last overs are very crucial indeed if they're going to be restricting the Indians to anything under 180, 190 around there. It's now what 176. If they're gonna keep them on the 190 or maybe the 200.
Okay, that has to be the goal here. Now the umpires, unless they're changing the ball, what a time to change the ball with 2 overs to go.
Oh yes, indeed. That ball must really be
Yeah, unless
banged
it's
up.
badly damaged. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a strange time to change a ball.
Yeah, so 18 overs gone and but maybe the ball has gone through the walls and it's really banged up because they will
The umpires are satisfied that they have a good replacement. So maybe we will get the show on the road quickly. The
you know
umpire showing the ball to the wicketkeeper and the bowler. So I think the batsmen are happy with it.
yes, we are just 12 deliveries away from the conclusion of the Indians' innings. And the batsman, well, you have new ball, old ball, soft ball, or rougher ball, they are going to go after it.
Yep. There's no turning back now.
Because they're in a very nice position indeed. And they will look to really, really consolidate and really, really put the icing on the cake.
And that's more like it. Just a 1 run. They might get a second, though. Yes, they will. Because, again, just the nuance, just the rudimentary things that they just not able to put into their game at this point. And they'll have to figure out how they're going to navigate this here. And a nice drive, but good stop. So just a 1 run there that showed extra cover position.
And you can see the inexperience Ruskin in this TNT team because at one time they make some lovely stops, they pull out some nice catches, and then sometimes they play so ordinary that you think that they're not learning the game. Good hit indeed.
Again, but he can't get it. He can't get the power that he wants from it. And it has to settle for a single. So this is a good over so far from Mohammed.
Yes, indeed. And then just to come back to it, you can see all this, all the up and down and the indifference is all in the learning stages that they are getting accustomed to playing at this level of cricket, which is it is a tough ask when you come up against an Indian team with such talent.
And that one will be a wide, so they're gonna have to bowl that over. I'm sure they won't mind. Just one more to the kitty.
Yes, well, the batsman will welcome that. I think Mohammed will say, I have to go one more.
And again, they can't seem to do it. So just when they want to pull the choke, for whatever reason, it's almost like if they're tightening up. And that one came back in a little bit past him on the way through, almost to the back door. And again, when you can bowl a dot ball at this stage, that's priceless.
Yes, indeed. It is golden. It is golden, as you mentioned before. It is golden. At this stage, a dot ball is welcome by the captain and the fieldsman, by everyone in the field, not the batsmen. They'll be looking to push on.
And that's a short ball that is given the treatment. There's a man out there, though. Does he take the catch? He just stepped back and couldn't complete the catch. So, what a good bit of fielding out there again from Tobias, but he just couldn't maintain his balance. So, let's look at it again and see if he still had possession of the ball. Did the umpire signal 4 or 6? There, he had possession. He came down in the field and just thought, did he step on the ropes there? I think he did.
Yes, he did.
And I think that is where the issue is. So it should be 4 runs, or 6 runs rather.
But the umpires are still cleaning it up to make sure that that it is 6 or 4, which one they're going to register. And it's 6 runs.
What a way to end the over. He did all the hard work earlier.
Yeah.
And then, not for the first time, in fact, we saw it also from Noel and also from Murray, and now Mohammed suffering a similar fate. 188 for 5 now after 19.
Yeah, that was the penultimate over of this innings, and you find that that last delivery there was a bit too short. It was short. It stood up, and the batsman didn't falter. He went for the big one. Fieldsman on the boundary. He took it, but he stepped on the line with it. So the umpire had no choice but to register to give it as a 6. Bowling the final over. Is this Bulu? Is he the man who had been entrusted with the final over of this innings?
Uh, Actually, this
That
is
is Mr. Tobias?
Murray.
Murray, sorry.
Oren Murray is the
Oren
man.
Murray is the man. 21. Oren Murray, yes.
And,
6 deliveries to go.
so they have to be smart here with the field placing in particular. Now, that's just a slightly better field, but you know that they're going to be peppering that mid-wicket region. And he's going to have to hustle here again. Hurry, release it. But the Bodo is way off target with that return. And it's not like if he was that deep. He was almost halfway in, and he still couldn't get it on target.
Murray has 5 deliveries to go.
And reaching again for that one. but the wicketkeeper somehow allows it to elude him. Now, where does the umpire signal here? Signal buys. Well,
Yes, buys indeed. That one was it went through the keeper. He didn't collect it at all, and it went down for two extras, two additional extras to the total.
so far, so good. Two buys. Let's see if he can change that. They're going to go with one here. And one looks like all they'll get. Or do they? Now they go for a second run and they'll get that too. So again, just trying to be so careful, almost to place the ball in the hands of the bowler. And he just mishandles it, he fumbles it. And the batsmen are quick to pounce on a second run. It's almost like they're waiting for the error to occur. And as soon as they sense, boom, they're gone. That's another shot hit just over the head of the big fella Guman Singh. And he couldn't get up there. If he got up there, I think we'd all be surprised. We'd all be doing backflips.
Well, yes, indeed. He is a man, a heavily set man. And to go up there and to come back down, it will take a lot of effort. But that one was hit way over his head. And 2 runs came out of it. That's Murray. This is his Murray's third delivery or fourth delivery? His fourth delivery.
Yep, this is his. Well, he'll have to do it over and again. The ball eludes the keeper. And they'll go back for a second run. He's going to have to hurry. And they do that. But
the umpire signals are wide.
Yep. So this is not what the doctor ordered here in this final over. Murray 1 for 45. Now let's see if we could tighten up. That's well bowled and well played also. But again, they're just not attacking the ball as quickly as they should. But taking his time to allow the ball to come to him. And while that is happening, the batsmen are on the move. 2 more.
Yes, the batsmen, they are ever alert, and they know that once that goes down to the fieldsman on the close to the boundary area, if he stops it, there'll be 2. If he doesn't stop it, well, it will go for 4. They know that, and they have been making use of this opportunity.
So the 200 is on the board. 201 for 5 now. And 46 to Singh and 13 to Kumar. Cut away nicely. They're going to go back for the second round. And, well, he dropped the ball. So I don't think he was actually out. It's 203. And he will remain not out on 48. And the wicketkeeper had a chance there to run him out. Look at the return from way out in the deep. And you can see the wicketkeeper collects the ball. But does he drop it on the stumps or does he just drop it?
He dropped it, yeah.
And then in his haste, his hand knocked the bails off. So the batsman would have completed the 2 runs. And Cadogan really must be kicking himself. That was the simplest of run-out opportunities there. And he couldn't finish it off. So 203 for 5 at the end of
20.
And so that is it. But the story would have to be the young man Noel with his 3 wickets.
Yeah, 3 for 25.
3 for 25. And really a splendid display from him. Can the Trinidad and Tobago batsmen now back him up in the field? They need 204 in 20 overs, and we'll get to their reply when we come back. But uh, say thanks to Alexandria Imagery, Advantage Advertising, Milo, Oasis, Orchard, Reboot, Republic Bank, Extra Foods, KFC, and well, the one or two others. I'll get those for you. But those are the folks who made it possible. Trini Marine and Trinry, the two others who I was trying to. So those are all persons who made it possible for us to be able to bring you this broadcast here today and for this entire series. So as the ground staff do their preparations, we take a break. We'll come back with the Trinidad and Tobago reply for the last time. Can they get one over on the visiting Indian team?
Cancer, whether you have it or your doctors are looking for it, only a PET scan can give the critical details. First world countries now use PET scans instead of CT scans. Get the right scan. Get a PET scan. Call us for a free consultation. Cancer, whether you have it or your doctors are looking for it, only a PET scan can give the critical details. First world countries now use PET scans instead of CT scans. Get the right scan. Get a PET scan. Call us for a free consultation.
Welcome back to the Queen's Park Oval. The sun is out, and so are the players as we're getting ready for the Trinidad and Tobago reply. And it's going to be Nanda who is going to pick up the attack. And first ball is a beauty that just leaves Adams as it goes past him. Devon Adams, the TNT captain, fishing.
Good delivery indeed from Nando. That one was pitched up. It bumped. It had some bunks in it. It went right over the the bat and through to the wicketkeeper. Good delivery indeed for a start of this spell from the Indian team.
And trying to turn it on the onside this time.
That one went down the leg side. Did the umpire signal a wide?
It's actually brushed against his pad.
Oh, it touched against the pad. So that's why I was looking for the
outstretched arms.
The outstretched arm, but it never came.
Never came. Nope. He's a socialite. You don't like to wave too much. That's another beauty.
Good delivery indeed. Good delivery. We have seen 3 deliveries, 2 of them very, very excellent deliveries indeed. And the wicket seemed to have freshened up a little, Husky, because when the TNT bowlers bowled, they were much more on the slower side. Well, he seemed to be rushing it.
This might sound strange, but a number of these players in almost all of the games, we've seen them produce good bunks and good pace off the wicket. That's another quick delivery. They're going to get one. I don't think they're going to go for a second. And again, you look at how the captain was touching down there. He had no idea where the ball was because his back was turned to the ball. And he was looking over. He was turning his head to the left to try to see his teammate, to see what the call was. When in reality, if he was looking at the ball, he might have been able to at least see if he could set up a second run by grounding the bat with his body facing, with his head facing the ball, as opposed to the back of his head being looking at the ball, and he had no idea where the ball was. And again, Tobias just resting the bat there and taking the deflection. And we've seen him do this already. He's not a big hitter of the ball. He's really a deflector of the ball. And because he just picks up the line and drops the bat into line. But he really doesn't make any attempt, well, we haven't seen that so far, to really strike the ball with any great deal of power. But who knows? Today might be the day that he decides to show us a different Tobias.
Well, he'll have to show us a different side because they're chasing a huge total of 203 for victory. They're going up to 304 if they'll get over the line in 20 overs. So if he's there, he'll need to step it up.
That's another beauty. That one came back at Adams. He was trying to uncork one of his favorite extra cover drives, only to find that the ball was not there for that. It came back at him and it passed between the bat and the stumps. and went through to the keeper. You could see him, he was shaping to really go big outside the off stump, and the ball passed right between him, between the bat and the wicket. Went through to the keeper to end the over. Pretty good first over, one would have to say. Just 2 runs coming from it.
Good opening over indeed, and that's the type of start the Indian team would have liked to have, and they got it from Simon Nandu. He bowled his 6 overs, his 6 deliveries, and just got 2 runs from it. And I think they will be quite pleased with their start, and they'll be hoping that they can continue in this vein and pick up wickets along the way.
Suhail Ahmad is the man who's going to pick up the attack from the southern end. He batted well over the number 1 on his back. And a stifled appeal, but again, it's because of the way that he plays, Tobias. He doesn't really try to hit the ball. He's really a deflector of the ball.
I think that's the reason why they have him on the top order. I mean, if he can stay around long enough and really just he might be the one that they would be calling on or looking towards to really hold this innings together, because he's not a stroke player, but he's just one who can stick around.
But he's a prime candidate for an LBW as well, because he squares up in the wicket. He doesn't go anywhere. He just kind of plays in the crease a lot. And
These are the
any
areas.
kind of movement.
These are the areas in which he would be working on, or the coach will be working on with him, because this is a big game. This is a really really a tough game for the TNT team, a tough series.
And again, trying to go at him outside the off stump, and nothing doing. Tough for the Trinidad and Tobago batsman right now.
Yeah, just as you said before, he's a deflector. He attempted a big off drive there. So I mean, so he wants to prove you wrong that he can mix it up. Maybe he wants to really show the fans here that he can really mix it up, deflect and also drives.
Just bringing the bat down in line. That's kind of like more of his style there. Just bring the bat into line and keep out the bowlers.
And I like the way in which every time he plays a ball or misses, he goes for a little walk. I mean, that is I mean, to clear his head and to get to focus on the next delivery. That's a good trait.
Drive in nicely, but can't get the run. Nice bit of fielding, and maybe now they'll get it. A big yes, no, and then the return, he overshoots the keeper, and he would have been a goner there because he somehow committed himself to a run that was not there. The captain didn't seem interested at all, and by the time he turned and was heading back, the return was on its way to the keeper, but it was so high over the keeper's head, he never had a chance at it.
Yes, he seemed to have reached the point of no return, and I believe he must have told himself, "Well, this could be the end." But he turned back and he went gallantly towards the keeper, and he survived.
And that's another beauty. And they're appealing for a catch at the wicket, but that ball took off. I'm not sure if it hit anything, but it certainly climbed. And really, it's one of those jaffas that you get every so often. And sometimes it's too good a delivery for you to play it. And so you look at it again, look at how square he becomes when he tries to play. See, he doesn't go anywhere. Everything is right there in the crease. And look at how that ball took off and just climbed past. Who?
Yeah, you're so correct, Ruskin. I mean, that ball was too good a delivery. It could have gotten past. I mean, any top batsman in the world who may not be here, but it was a really really top class delivery.
And here he is again. He's going for the single communication problems here, and he's out, run out, and not for the first time. Again, trying his best here to get a single, but Tobias has to go, run out again, and Trinidad and Tobago have lost their first wicket. It's 2 for 1.
Oh, yes, indeed. And I thought Tobias must have learned from the previous over, but that was not to be. There was a communication problem between the two of them, and he paid the price because it was, had they gone through for on the first call, it could have been an easy single indeed, but they hesitated. There was a stop start along the way, and Tobias is the result of that. He's on his way to the players' dugout or the players' seating area. And Trinidad and Tobago are 2 runs for the loss of 1 wicket. Not a good start indeed. After if you were chasing 203 for victory.
It's not what the doctor ordered here. They needed this pair to stick together and present some kind of a platform for Trinidad and Tobago, but instead they have now exposed one of their better batsmen on this in this series so far. That's Mohammed. He's done very well, and so they're going to ask him once again to kind of dig them out of a little bit of a hole here.
Well, the Indians they have gotten an early wicket, and they should be buoyant at this time because they seem to be. And as Nandu comes in the 20, he will be really looking to add to their wicket to the fall of the wickets.
This is the second time in the series that we've seen Tobias get run out. And again, it's about that lack of communication and understanding of I should say whose call it is, because um, Adams can actually call. He calls very, very loudly. Whether or not Tobias heard him is the other question here, no. And this is the second time that they've got themselves in a tangle, and it resulted in a run out.
Yeah.
And Tobias has been the one paying the price.
So there's something there for
Yeah.
him for him to be working on because you cannot as a opening batsman be out in such a soft dismissal because opening batsmen they have to lay the foundation for the rest of the team.
He's edging past the man at slip, and that's going to be 4 runs. As I've always said, when you're at slip, you're at first slip, and then you could go to your right. But if you have to go both to your right and to your left, you're asking for trouble. And that's precisely what happened there for the man at slip. He was so wide that he's not at first slip. And even if he comes across now, the horse might have bolted already.
Yes, and you can see the wicketkeeper is trying to motion to him that is.
And that's a good delivery again, coming into the right hand. He played it well in the end, played it with one hand because the movement brought it into him and sort of cramped him a little bit for room.
Yes, this Indian bowling attack seemed to be quite good because the opening bowling attack is they seem to be know know exactly what they're about because they're putting the ball in the right spots and they're generating some pace and some movement, which is really really taxing the batsman.
And again, it's a wide signal by the umpire.
Down the leg side indeed, and once you're on that side of the wicket, then the umpire has no alternative but to extend his arms to call it a wide. For the Indians, they will not be too worried with this because they have picked up an early wicket and we're looking to really to drive home their advantage.
And just another peach of a delivery right on line and played well in the end by Adams, but can't get a run from it. 8 for 1 at the end of 3.
So you can see the Indians, they are trotting back to their respective field places, because that's a sign that a team is really, really confident. They want to get things going, and they want to get at the batsman as quickly as possible. And you can see that they're happy at how things are unfolding before their very eyes.
Yeah, they've really dominated Trinidad and Tobago so far in this series. They've won all three games to date, and they're looking to finish off with a perfect record. And they won the Seoul One Day International, and they've won back-to-back T20s, looking to make it three in a row now in T20s.
Yes, and looking at the scores in the previous 220s matches, the 220 matches, they are not so encouraging when you're going after 203. I mean, for the TNT team, they haven't been able to really to to be spectacular.
And Mohammed, he will play that shot. And the problem with him is that, uh, as in most cases with cricket, one error, and that could be the end of that. And so he has to be careful. He has to pick his spots when he's going to throw the bat outside the off stump like that. And there he goes again, and might get a couple if he hurries, but he doesn't seem too interested in a second run. He might get it here now, although it's eventually seen it hit the stumps directly, and the deflection doesn't go far enough for them to even attempt a second run. So
Also, and that's the difference, because had it been the TNT team in the field, that would have been 2 runs, because the fielders, they approach the ball very, not as with much urgency. But the Indians, they seem to know exactly, once you attack the ball, it put pressure upon the batsmen if they are thinking about a second run. And that's the difference between the teams so far in this short reply from the TNT uh, uh, local team.
and, again, not able to catch up with that one. That's a good delivery because it was pitching up and it was touching down right in front of him. He played all over it. Luckily, he didn't take the stump on the way through.
The Adams has a big responsibility as a captain to really steer the ship, to make sure that his team get over this early setback.
Well, that is a wide delivery, and I suppose if you're going to bowl a wide, bowl a genuine wide.
Was that that is a genuine wide in shot? I
Yeah,
mean, there's no
bowl a
doubt.
half wide.
Yeah. That one went it past the keeper with ease, with ultimate ease, and give the man at the fine leg down here no chance at all. Even when that ball left his hand, eh, so he knew that it was a wide. It was a big wide.
No debate. That's another good delivery, and it's going to get a single. Adams. He loves to play that big booming drive. He has all the mannerisms of Clive Lloyd. You look at him, he brings down the bat the same way the big fella did. And speaking of Clive Lloyd, I actually saw him this morning at Edgbaston. I got a glimpse of him and his wife there, looking very resplendent. The West Indies not so resplendent, a little bit gloomy right now. And here it is. This one, he could be out caught. What a catch taken there! And again, Mohammed was trying to get things going. He would have to leave for six, but what a catch on the run. And brilliant catch indeed.
Rusky, you couldn't have said it any better than that. A brilliant catch indeed. The ball was dipping. He went for the drive. The ball seemed to hit the upper half of the bat, and it was dipping on the field when he came across and he went down and pulled it off. What a good catch! These are the type of catches that really inspire teams and win matches. Good indeed. and Mohammed has to make his way all the way back to the pavilion after a brilliant catch indeed. So
Yes,
Sumik is
taken by
down.
Akash. Sai Akash was the man taking the catch.
Good catch indeed from Saeed Akash because he timed it well. He moved. To me, I thought it might have hit the ground before he got to it, but he timed it well because he's a tall man and he went down with it and pulled off a splendid catch indeed. So TNT lost their second wicket with the score on
15.
15 for 2.
So Orion Murray is making his way out. And again, here's another exciting young batsman, but the quality of this bowling is it's going to really require something special from all of the TNT batsmen.
Yes, what we have seen so far of the Indian bowlers, they are good bowlers. I mean, they length and line, and the pace is quite good. So it will test. It will surely ask questions of the TNT batsmen, and if they are caught wanting, then they will be making their way back to the pavilion very shortly.
It could become a procession if they're not careful here.
Let's see how the Mr. Murray. Oh, he will not be facing. That's this is the start of a new over.
There's going to be Devon Adams who is going to face up to Nanda.
Yeah, the captain indeed. And he has taken a fresh guard. It means that he is starting all over again to make sure that his team doesn't slumber.
And it's another peach of a delivery. Because he's so pinned to that crease because his what if I have to call it, his trigger movement is to get that right foot down the wicket and then go with the big booming drive. But if the ball isn't there, it leaves him wanting. And because he plants his foot so early, chances are he's not going to get behind the line of the ball. He might edge it, or it might beat the edge and hit the stumps. This time he's in behind it. Looks so much more accomplished there.
Much better shot indeed. And as you were saying, Ruskin, if he stays in his crease and doesn't really make use of his height or that stripe to come forward to get to the ball, then he'll always be in trouble. Only when the ball comes to him, then he'll be able to play with much ease and comfort. This one is turned around the corner there. This one's on his legs.
Yeah,
He turned it quite easily indeed as they go through for a single.
that's easy for him because it's on the body, and all he has to do is just put the bat there and deflect it. It's when he tries to uncork that big booming drive of his that he kind of loses his shape a little bit. When he plays it, it looks good because, like I said, he has shades of Clive Lloyd when he makes that shot.
Exactly, and but Clive Lloyd is a big shoes to fill, but we can look and see some shades of him in one of the most successful West Indies captain. Or he is, if he is not the most successful. Good shot.
And they're appealing for, but I think it was bat first and then pad. And Nanda asking a question of the umpire.
And speaking about the West Indies, Clive Lloyd and West Indies suffered a huge defeat this morning, Rusky, because I didn't expect that to happen
Did the West
so
Indies
early.
play today? Oh,
Oh yes, they as we look at Nandu once more.
pitching up. You're going right up into the almost into the crease. He wants to see if he could hit the stump or hit the pads. And then that's the problem with so many of the Trinidad and Tobago batsmen. They're very, very susceptible to deliveries that are lined on the stump because they tend to go, they're either late getting behind the line or they go across the line some. The slow delivery, they're going to have to hurry here. The return, and he's out by a country mile, as they say. He never had a chance there, Adams. And 2 runouts for Trinidad and Tobago. That really isn't what the doctor ordered.
Indeed, you can see the difference in the approach of the fielders on both teams because the Indians, they attack the ball and they attack it with such force. This one, let's have a look.
He never had a chance. Look at how quickly the ball is returned to the keeper.
Yeah, and Adams was way out. Never had a chance indeed. He could have been, as we see in local parlance, he could have been run out 3 times.
And that's a good take by the keeper.
Yes, indeed, because the ball,
It was close to the stump, so he probably would have been keeping one eye open and one eye closed there, or turning his head slightly because it could easily have hit the stump. So he would have been taking some kind of precaution there, but he kept the glove there, the one hand, and it actually jumped up into his hand, and he just had to remove the bails.
16 for 2 in the 5th over, and things are not looking too nice.
Yeah, it's a tall order for Trinidad and Tobago. It was always going to be a tall order, chasing 204 for a victory. And here it is that they find themselves behind the 8 ball now, having lost their 2 openers plus their number 3. And now it's Christopher Gumansing.
That's Christopher Commanding. That's the man 9. So 3 wickets down.
Yep. So 16 for 3 at the end of 5 overs. Trinidad and Tobago already behind the 8 ball here.
Took a big effort indeed from these two.
And this one bowled him. Probably came off the pad as well. But as I was mentioning earlier, if you keep the ball up to him, he tends to go across the ball a lot. And invariably, he's either going to be out LBW or he's going to be out bowled. And that's precisely what transpired there with Ahmad keeping the ball right up to him.
That one cannon into the stumps. Maybe it came off his pads and it went into the stumps. So another wicket going down, and then so it seemed like if the Indians may have a short, it may not be fully extended in this inning because 4 wickets are down now at this time. 4 for 16.
Yep, it's
in the 5th over.
It's what can I get in tongue for 4 for 16?
4 for
I
16.
can't even get limes at 4 for 16 right now. You know, limes, Mr. Lime, you know.
Correct, yeah, Mr. Limes. Yeah, you could get some of the local fruits, man. Maybe Pomerax or maybe some
No, it's at 4. It might be 4 for 20.
4 for 20 or 16 is it?
4 for 16, that
Yeah,
kind of outlier there.
Yeah, but you're a Ruskin Mark and everybody knows you, you know.
When they see me, it might become 4 for 25. Jamel Bonio is out there now. And so he keeps that one out. But it's very, very tough going for the Trinidad and Tobago batsmen at this time. And somebody has to take, as they say, take the bull by the horn and try and fashion some kind of resistance for TNT here. They need one of the big hitters to come to the party.
Well, that could be a strategy, Ruskin, because they can rely upon a pinch hitter. Let somebody come in and try to get these bowlers or shake them up a little, because they have been bowling pretty good so far, and you need somebody to really take them to take the thing to take this innings away from
And
them.
there you go, trying his luck here, and he's gonna get a sing. He's off the mark.
So the score moves up to 17 for 4 in the fifth over.
Yep.
The sixth over is before 5.4.
Yep. So we're in over number 6 here now.
Number
The
six.
final over of the power play.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, having picked up 4 wickets, I think the Indians will be quite pleased with their efforts so far.
Yeah, not very often teams recover from losing 4 wickets inside the power play. And more runs here. Kuman Singh is edging one down to third man, getting off the mark. So early wickets tell the story. India could relax now and just concentrate on their plans. Nice shot again, but nothing to show for it for Borneo. Frustrating him, I'm sure, no doubt. End of the over, 18 for
So 4.
for four after 6.
So it has been a very an excellent power play period for the visitors, for the Indian team. They picked up 4 wickets and just conceded 17 runs, and that will be pleasing for their captain. He will be a pleased man. You can see the umpire making that big circle with the right hand to indicate that the power play is over. And coming up from this end is the
Still
is
going to be Ahmad, who's going to continue
yeah,
from
Ahmad is the man.
the Nanda rather, still going to continue from this top end. So Nanda doing damage as well, keeping everything honest, and that's a good deflection. So this is kind of like the predicament for the Trinidad and Tobago batsmen. They don't seem to have that one player that they need a Haley Matthews. They need somebody who can really make a difference and do it on a consistent basis.
Correct, because I mean, Haley Matthews is talking about Haley. She has been carrying this West Indies team single-handedly, and I mean, in the just concluded series that go on there, they saw her worth that she was doing everything, and she even complained that maybe the whole structure in the Caribbean needs to be revamped to unearth new talent to support her.
Yeah, there's but there are a number of areas and a number of things that I would imagine the West Indies Cricket Board is um, debating as to how best to help West Indies cricket. And it's not just finance; it's about structures, it's about performances, it's a whole host of different things, and it's also about attitudes and how do you change attitudes towards the West Indies and wanting to play for the West Indies. And, back in the day, you didn't have to motivate players to play for the West Indies. That was an enticement by itself, playing for the West Indies, and you would go all out to do that.
Yes, yes, and then we see that delivery went from the pass. The keeper down the leg side was the man on the deep fine leg. He went across, picked up, and had fired it back to the keeper. So the Indian team, the Trinidad team, they advanced by 1. The score moves on to 21 for 4. And speaking about that, I mean, in the Caribbean, to where that maroon was itself a motivator.
There he goes for a big one. And so he's going to, as they say, fight fire with fire. He's going to go down swinging. And so something had to give.
Yes, that one was just outside the off stump indeed. And Kudugan, not Kudugan, Gumansing,
Commencing.
yeah, Gumansing, he saw it, his eyes lit up, and he went for it, and he got the maximum reward from it. It seemed like if Nandu seemed to be coming to the end of his bowling spell because he's not as zippy and sharp as he was in the opening 2 overs. But let's see again. This one was a nice shot indeed, right up there for Guman Singh, and he drives, and they're going for a second round. Could it be?
Now again, that would have been another scenario there where Trinidad and Tobago, they really have to look at their running between the wickets because it's not their best suit right now. And look at how he's struggling there, Goman Singh.
Yes, he is. He's really, really struggling indeed.
Yep.
He went into overdrive, but overdrive wasn't good enough. And I mean, but the throw was a bit wayward. That what saved him.
Yeah, I think they needed to tell him he needed to release the handbrakes as he was going over there because he was really pumping and not able to get to that line.
Nice shot indeed. When you look at you see the shot of the flags flying there. They're just limb. There's no breeze, and some breeze are picking up a little. As we say that.
Yeah, just as we said, I started to stretch out here.
Nice shot indeed from our cameraman.
And
Is that Mr. Gordon?
Another swing and a miss, a big swing as well. So it just seems as if these two have decided, hey, we're gonna try our best here, see how many we can get.
Yes, to get this total, to get that our total close to their total as possible, and maybe that will rattle up the Indians a bit.
Now again, they all of a sudden they can't find the ball, so it's creating a dilemma for Trinidad and Tobago. A lot of dot balls. And like we said, in the IPL, you bowl a dot ball, you got to plant some trees. Something like 16 trees or 18 trees for every dot ball. And here's another one, just pushing it out into the offside. So we'd have had a forest by now in terms of the number of trees to be planted.
Okay, exactly. They should bring that bring that exchange down here. We need some forest, man.
Certainly, the Indians, they have a real vice grip on this game here now. And the Trinidad and Tobago batsmen are having real difficulty negotiating what is on offer. So he's going to try again, Ahmad. And any possibility of a run or no possibility of a run there. So they're sharp, they're in position, and they're keen for a victory, but they're not rushing it. And in fact, they would like to sweep the series and do it in convincing fashion. They're well on their way to.
And if you look at the field placing, indeed, Ruskin, the bowlers are bowling to their field placement because that final delivery from the bowler, it went to the bat. He just played it, and it went straight to the fieldsman at the backward point. And there is a third man. And when you look at there's a 6-3 field, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, and 6 men on the offside, and two men on the onside. So the bowlers are really sticking to a plan, and their plan is to bowl to their field placing, and this has been the strength of the Indian bowlers so far. and they have been they have been rewarded for doing just that. There's a change of bowler now, as Nandu will be taking off and taking up the attack. Is
Vaibhav Kumar. Vaibhav Kumar.
yes, Vaibat Kumar. He seemed to be slower than Nandu. And let's see what he will bring to the table now. So the captain is setting his field. There's one slip, backward point, cover, extra cover, mid on, short mid wicket.
And this
Then
one, he's trying to play it right across it again. And was almost bowled neck and crop there. Missed it, was a full toss. It passed him on the full. The ball just spun away from the stump. Funny enough, he seemed to be bowling leg breaks, but it's almost as if he has an off break action. I have to look at his action there again, Kumar. Leg breaks.
yes, he is because the first delivery I thought it was a leg break. But the I thought it was the off break because the action is of an offer is of an off spinner, but but at the final at the point of delivery the ball is coming off from the back of the hand.
Yep. Now that's a more traditional
Yes,
leg spinner.
yes, you've seen it big home. This one here.
And trying to third this one to the onside, misses it again. And those are the opportunities that you have to take. You can't miss out on deliveries like that. That was a short ball. Edging, and he's dropped. Again, the captain standing in the slip there, Virender Singh, was caught standing up.
Yes, and it is much easier when you're down to come up than when you're up to go down. And I mean, that's a typical example. That's the end of the over indeed. It should have been one that is rewarded for the Indians, but in that case, the score remained. The four wickets stay intact. And the squad just haven't advanced at all. So the Indians remain in control of this game, despite that chance going down. It would have added one more wicket to the tally.
So it's 10 after 5 from the Colin Murray clock. I told you it was 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 10 after 5 here now. And that's a good shot. There's nobody back there. And he said, "Thank you very much, Mr. Jangir."
You know, that was a short delivery, and when it's short, it just came up for a nice height indeed. And the batsman, he made no mistake indeed. He made no mistake at that, and that's number. That's Noah. Is it? He made no mistake, and he pulled that one through square leg for more backward a square for four. I see now there's a man position right down on the boundary.
And
And he goes
again,
again.
almost picks out the man though. That would have been sacrilegious. And he almost got hit getting into the crease at the non-striker's end. So all of a sudden, a little life into the TNT innings. 32 for 4 now. And he's bowled him, really trying to go over the top, and has to take that long, disconcerting walk back to the pavilion, head in the air, as they say, bowled neck and crop for 8.
Oh, that's the fall of the fifth wicket indeed, and I see that the umpires must have motioned to the to the to the refreshment card because I see yes, they're taking a break at this time.
Yep.
Yes, the score is 5 down for. Let's have a look at it again.
Yeah, playing all around it with his head nowhere near where it's supposed to be. And another wicket goes down, and everything that the Indians touch seems like it's turning to gold in this tour. It's 32 for 5.
32 for 5. We are just in the over number. Uh,
In the 10th over.
10th over,
Yep.
yes. So
So
there's a
that's why
halfway
they're
mark.
taking the refreshments now. So we
That's
take a break and we come back with more right after this.
Cancer, whether you have it or your doctors are looking for it, only a PET scan can give the critical details. First world countries now use PET scans instead of CT scans. Get the right scan. Get a PET scan. Call us for a free consultation. Cancer, whether you have it or your doctors are looking for it, only a PET scan can give the critical details. First world countries now use PET scans instead of CT scans. Get the right scan. Get a PET scan. Call us for a free consultation. Cancer, whether you have it or your doctors are looking for it, only a PET scan can give the critical details. First world countries now use PET scans instead of CT scans. Get the right scan. Get a PET scan. Call us for a free consultation. Cancer, whether you have it or your doctors are looking for it, only a PET scan can give the critical details. First world countries now use PET scans instead of CT scans. Get the right scan. Get a PET scan. Call us for a free consultation. Cancer, whether you have it or your doctors are looking for it, only a PET scan can give the critical details. First world countries now use PET scans instead of CT scans. Get the right scan. Get a PET scan. Call us for a free consultation. Cancer, whether you have it or your doctors are looking for it, only a PET scan can give the critical details. First world countries now use PET scans instead of CT scans. Get the right scan. Get a PET scan. Call us for a free consultation. Cancer, whether you have it or your doctors are looking for it, only a PET scan can give the critical details. First world countries now use PET scans instead of CT scans. Get the right scan. Get a PET scan. Call us for a free consultation. Cancer, whether you have it or your doctors are looking for it, only a PET scan can give the critical details. First world countries now use PET scans instead of CT scans. Get the right scan. Get a PET scan. Call us for a free consultation.
So Shamil Kadogan, the wicketkeeper, and he is another batsman who is quite capable, but doesn't have the runs to support his claim. You can see for the first time we're seeing genuine spin. The ball actually is turning. And Jahangir, that's big spin there. And Cadogan did well to keep it out, although he looked a little bit awkward trying to keep that one out of his stumps. It's the end of another productive over, 32 for 5 after 10.
So India continues to dictate the pace, to call the shots, if you can say, in this encounter. They made 203 for 5 of their 20, and now they have restricted the TNT team to 32 runs so far, and they have taken 5 wickets. So they are in control. They are fully in control of this encounter, and it will take some doing from the lower order to really bring things back on level terms.
And Bonio trying here, and he recognizes that he's not at his best when he's playing this sort of cautious way. So he might very well swing the bat here. And it's up in the air. The keeper trying to get there, and he couldn't. That could so easily have been the end of Bonio.
Yes, I saw the keeper. I thought maybe the skipper because the way how he looked up, I thought maybe he would have gone for it, but the keeper was much closer to it, and he hesitated, and that's why Borneo has survived.
And here's a leg break. He doesn't play a shot. It probably pitched just outside the leg stump. And the height as well might have worked against him, but he's living dangerously there, Borneo. The height. And here's the big hit coming. And it's going into the boundary for 4 runs. So that's what I expected from him. I don't think he's at his best just prodding and trying to deflect the ball. He likes to put back the ball. That was a good example there.
Well, that's the way in which he believes and he thinks that he can survive, and he will go that route to make sure that he stays within the.
And it's how long he will survive, because that's what this is about, really, about survival. 'Cause look at how square he was there. He's a prime LBW candidate because he just kind of squares up in the wicket. And with the turn, it creates a problem for him because it's like he don't know what to do once the ball turns. And there he goes, has another whack at that one, but misses. And it remains 36 for 5.
And it can be very difficult for the TNT batsmen because when you up against a total of such, but they are a bunch that will fight all the way down, and the keeper is the man. Dugan is the man who will be facing up to the new over.
So Ankit Jangir, and here's another delivery that bounces, jumps at him. All of a sudden, the wicket is starting to play a few tricks.
Yes, indeed. We saw a couple, but not so, much as frequent as how we are seeing it now from when the Indians batted. But this one, but this time around, we are seeing some really bounce and turn, genuine bounce and turn.
This one is hit in the air. This could be an easy catch. And just like that, Cadogan goes without scoring. So another wicket goes down. And Jangir picks another pepper.
That's wicket number 6. We can see here an easy catch indeed. The fieldsman makes no mistake indeed. He settled on it and makes sure that he cupped it well. The score moved on to 36 for 6. And the TNT team, they sink further into the mire with Kudukan going there without troubling the scores.
Yeah, this is the procession that we were dreading, so to speak, because when they start losing wickets, it's like they can't stop.
Oh, yes, they as I say, they lose them in bundles, and this is a worrying sign for, I mean, for the backroom staff because they need to unearth batsmen who will take the time to spend time in the middle and to really go play good innings.
But again, if you remember the innings, the first innings, they didn't take too many risks early on. They just played on merit. It's just that the Trinidad and Tobago bowlers served up so many boundary balls that they didn't have a choice, almost as if they were forced into hitting that many boundaries because of the lack of quality and the inconsistency of the Trinidad and Tobago bowlers. And now the batsmen are paying the price because they have these huge totals to chase down. Quicker delivery.
Yes, Indeed, I mean, when you're looking at a huge total like that, and then when you spend time in the middle when the TNT team when it was their turn to bowl, and they really served up.
It's a big hit. That's a good hit. And he's going to get a boundary for that. So fighting fire with fire.
At least for the moment, temporarily, there's some temporary relief, and they're fighting fire with fire. Indeed, that takes the score up to 40 in the 40s, and so it should bring some moments of relief for the TNT camp.
And he's trying to do it again, but guess what? He has to go. And Budu again, head in the air and not able to keep it out. So he goes for 4, and they've lost yet another wicket.
Well, let's have a look at it again and see what happened. What bowled down? Yes, that one. Budu, he went for a big hit, missed, and the off stump was disturbed. As he looked back there to make sure that his stump was disturbed, Budu is making his way back to the pavilion. And
Yes, it's painful to watch, to say the least, but it's really just the nature of the disparity between the two teams right now. And it's almost as if no one wants the responsibility to bat for any extended period of time.
we see making his way to the middle.
Yeah,
It was almost there's Noel, the man who did so well with the ball. He picked up the 3 for 25 of his allotted 4 overs, and he's required now to come to the wicket to rescue his team with a bat. He did a magnificent job with the ball, Ruskin.
Yep, he's a crowd favorite. You could hear the horns going off when he makes his way to the crease. And he went for a stroll. They just overbalanced there, Borneo. And again, Borneo just once the ball is spinning, the moving ball, as they say, he's at sea for that because I don't think he could hit the ball through the offside very well. Everything is going towards the leg. And if it's turning away from him, he's probably just going to spoon the ball up in the air. And
You're right. You call it right, Ruskin. Anything that is there, he uses the right hand or too much right hand into his shot, so it will always go to the onside. Anything pitched up there, anything out there, the right hand comes into play. A big shot indeed.
a chance of a catch here, but he was getting under it and just couldn't hold on to it. So a good effort in the end, but 4 runs all the same. Borneo will take them gleefully. And it was a good. Nanda was trying his best there to track that one down, but it hit his hand. And it still had enough to go into the boundary at long on. They think of a single, but again, the running between the wickets is really not what is desired here. That could so easily have been a comfortable single.
Yeah, but I think maybe Borneo is thinking about his partner, Noel, who isn't all that fluent between the wickets, so maybe he turned down the run because of that. And going again.
Yep, and he's gonna get full value for that one as well, a maximum here now. So going down swinging, as they say.
And he's quite pleased having played that shot because he turned to his supporters and raised the bat like if he got 100. He's really enjoying himself there. He knows that he's there for a short time and he's going to enjoy it.
And I think the Indian cricketers know that too. They're just trying to bait him into keeping playing those shots. and then hopefully he'll miss Q1. But they're gifting him some easy runs here, short balls that he's just feasting on.
Yes, that one was short indeed, and any batsman would have put that away, and he put it away quite easily. It was short. He pulled it back with a square for four, and added four more to his total. So he's building a nice total there indeed.
Yep.
Score is now 54 for 7.
If you're gonna give him short balls, he might as well keep swinging. He's 24. Noel, who's yet to face a ball, is gonna take strike. So Ankit Jangir with 3 for 9, looking for another wicket. Big swing and a miss here. So Noel not prepared to stick around for any length of time. He wants to join the fun.
Exactly, yeah. And Newell is one of the players that uses one hand.
Let's see if he's able to negotiate. This one is hit in the air and is out.
Go.
Easy does it. Easy, easy. And that's
Yes.
wicket number 4 for Jangir.
And there's the 8th wicket going down. But I don't know if you ever play against a fellow called Wendell Taylor. Wendell Taylor from the East, from Roka.
Jaswick Taylor's son.
Jaswick Taylor's son, but he had the same incapacity, the same. He had one arm.
Yeah, but he had his hand kind of like a stub here.
Yes.
But he used to feel really slip, you know.
Yes,
and he was a very good footballer as well.
Yes, correct. I played against him. He used to play for Squadrons. That was the Aruka team. And the first time we saw him, he came to the nets, you know, and he came with his boots on his shoulders and cricket boots, that is.
Yep.
And when he unlaced it one hand, put it on. So we said, what is going on here? And this man came up a run. The man was quick.
Yeah, he was.
He was quick.
Remember that his 2 sons were good bowlers.
Yes.
I remember the youngest son. I played against him at Trinity College.
Right, I see. Yeah. I think he went to Holy Cross. That's so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I played against him at Trinity. I think he played at Trinity College. One played at Trinity. I'm not sure if Wendell played at Holy Cross.
Yeah. Okay.
The younger one was at Trinity.
Yes. Correct.
And I played against Wendell for East. He was playing for East.
Yes.
In the West Hall League. And I will give you a joke about that. When he went out to bat, a lady called him back for the second glove. She actually did. She was making noise to get his attention, to tell him to come back for the. We left the glove on your seat, but he only had one hand.
Yeah, and he was a nice character. No, he welcomed his shortcomings with a smile. You know, he always.
But listen, the man actually felt that slip.
Yes.
He was a slip fielder, and he took a catch there. It was a brilliant catch too.
As we return to action here once more, as Trinidad and Tobago, well, they are looking down on the barrel of a big gun indeed. 8 wickets are down, and it doesn't seem like there's no way back for them in this encounter.
Joel Piper is out there. He's bowled. Well, it's a procession, really. The easy come, easy go, as he makes his way back. And another scalp there. So bowled for no score. And Jangir is having a ready 5 for 9.
Jangir, 5 for 9. Oh, Jangir. Yes, 5 for 9.
And talking about 5 for 9, it's actually 54 for 9. And Jangir has 5 for 9 from his 2.4 overs, and he could very well wrap it up here with this one, and the Indians will celebrate a perfect outing with victory in all of their matches. Nigel London makes his way out.
And from what I've seen so far of this Indian team, they seem to be a very good team, a great batting team, a bowling team, and they also feel well. So they have been well prepared to come on this tour to this part of the world, because we live in the subcontinent, to come all the way to the Caribbean to really play cricket. Then they come well prepared for any form of battle.
They've really distinguished themselves on this tour. Nobody's out. Everybody is inside the circle, and they all there just eager to start the celebrations. So one more to the kitty. That'll take it to 55 for 9. That would have been a bye. And look at the eagerness of the Indians. They don't even want Borneo to waste any time. They want to try and get this wicket now. So they rush to tie his laces for him.
To make sure, because half of the ground we are seeing the shadows beginning to lengthen there.
Quicker delivery, just trying to prevent him from going with a big swing. So that's the end of the third over from Ankit Jangir, 5 for 9 from his 3 overs.
And he will remember this tour, and he will remember this game as long as he's alive, because this is a good spell indeed from Jangir. He has picked up 5 wickets for 9 runs from 3 overs so far, and he still has 1 to go from his allotted 4.
That is if London could survive at this end, or if Trinidad and Tobago could survive this over. From Kumar, Vaibhav Kumar, the spectators still staying on and having serious discussions there, signing to each other. And it's going to be it's at a leg by. They've gone for 1, and they probably could have gotten a second. They decided against it. The umpire signaling a bye, so he didn't touch anything.
Good delivery. It went past the bat, went past the keeper, went past everybody, and went down for just a bye.
Kumar anxious to get a wicket. Jangir is doing all the damage, and Kumar is not for 18. He's in his 4th over, so I'm sure he would love to get one now. And well bowled. But this is really the icing on the cake now. Can they? They've already won the series, so they just want to remain perfect. And yeah, it was a big swing, and that hit the toe of the bat and went in the offside when he was aiming for somewhere in cow corner. And, Borneo on 24, and he's going to get one more. So he'll take it. So he has 25 to his name now. As the score ticks over to 57 for 9. Will they get to 60? That's it. Kumar, I'm sure, will be hoping to end it all here. Too wide and too short.
Kumar is surely looking to pick up his first wicket here. He will be anxious to get among the wicket takers.
And again, too good a delivery. Little bounce and a little bit of turn, so he will end wicketless, so to speak. And Jangir, the man of the moment, will get the opportunity to try to finish it off here. for India. He has 5 wickets for 9 runs from 3 overs. Trinidad and Tobago still need a further 147 runs. They have 30 balls in which to get those runs.
That's a huge equation indeed, a big one indeed, a mammoth. That's a steep mountain to climb, a very, very steep mountain. Or maybe they may not even get off the ground with that. But they got 1 wicket in hand.
And again, a swing and a miss. So you can see the shadows coming across the ground here at the Queen's Park Oval. It's minutes to 6 now, but because it's this time of the year, it's still pretty bright. But India would like very much to end it here now, and especially to get Jahangir wicket number 6. And it's hit into the gap. And Borneo will be happy with 1. In fact, they could get a second run, and they will do get it. So 2 runs to Borneo. He continues to lead the way for Trinidad and Tobago with 27.
Yes, and he's really enjoying himself indeed. He is the top scorer this time, and he would like to extend on that to advance his score. Because anything pitched up to him, he is going to use the right hand. He's going for it.
And he goes again. This time he gets it to the right of the man at mid-wicket. It went to his left just now. This time he's going to his right. So back on another one now. He's up to 28. And Jahangir, his figures been spoiled here slightly. 5 for 12. And they're appealing for an LBW. Not out, says the umpire. Jahangir not happy. Quicker delivery. At that time, he's out LBW. It went right through a quicker delivery, and that is his 6 wickets, 6 for 12 from his 4 overs, and really brilliant work indeed. And 6 wickets and a comprehensive victory. Look at it here. The quicker delivery, the ball just rushed into him, and it was going to hit the middle stump clean out of the ground, and the pad just came in the way and prevented it from going through there. So that is the story here. A massive victory again by the Indians. They would have thoroughly enjoyed their stint here in Trinidad and Tobago just as much as we enjoyed having them here. And what a way to end it all with a man taking 6 wickets in the game. The top score, again, Borneo, he would remain not out on 28, but not much else. The next highest score probably would be extras, but in terms of runs, 20 would be 8. 8 would be the next highest score after that. Nigel London would be 1. He was LBW at the end. So Jahangir, the man of the moment for India. And what a fantastic victory this turned out to be for them.
Oh, we knew long beforehand, Rusky, that it was going to be a tall order, a tough order indeed for the TNT team, but we did not expect such a big margin of victory indeed. And the Indians, well, the man who led the attack is Jahangir. He had 6 for 12 or 4 overs, and well, there was no answer for his spin bowling by the TNT batsmen. This is a big victory indeed, and you can see that they are celebrating. They enjoy the stay here at the Queen's Park Oval, which is quite good indeed. So the TNT team all out for 58.
61. All out for
61,
61.
61. I missed it somewhere. 61, and they were going at 203. 61. Well, it is a huge win indeed. A big victory for India's deft, deft 11.
So 61 all out from 16 overs. And again, as you said, the man of the moment there would be Ankit Jangir with 6 for 12 from his 4 overs, as India really dismantled Trinidad and Tobago in their third and final game. Now, this is a good picture to see the two teams saluting the crowd over in the distance there.
Excellent indeed. That shows a lot of camaraderie and a lot of friendliness, and despite we are fierce rivals on in the middle of the field, they are very good. They have established good bond, good relationship, and I think the players of both teams, they are going to remember this for the rest of their lives, because it's the first time the TNT team will have come across a team with such a well organized and powerful team. And the Indians, well, they are coming to the Caribbean to taste an example and to see what we offer in Trinidad and Tobago. And they have played at one of the top grounds around the Caribbean at the Queen's Park Oval, which many still consider to be one of the finest playing grounds in the Caribbean. And this was considered at one time the mecca of the Caribbean when it comes to Test cricket and one internationals. And
Well,
now,
you could see, I'm not quite sure, I can't make out who the dignitaries are, but it looked like Dr. Camacho from the Queen's Park Cricket Club is part of the gathering out there, greeting the victorious Indian team, the India team. They celebrating out there on the field, and reason to celebrate, no doubt, to win all 4 matches on tour, 3 T20s and the one day international, and they won all of them in convincing fashion. And so this journey home is going to be the sweetest plane ride back to India for these young men. And I'm sure they would have enjoyed their stay here in Trinidad and Tobago. They were made to feel very welcome, and they certainly gave a lot of joy to the spectators who would have seen them play. And I don't think there are any negatives to come out of this for them. They would have been very, very happy with their returns. For Trinidad and Tobago, of course, it's a steep learning curve for them, but this is just the start. They can't look at this as the end. This has to be the beginning for them as they try to forge a pathway in cricket for deaf persons or persons with hearing impairment, because their degrees, but they have to be like 50% hearing impaired to be eligible to play at this level, 50% or above, 55 and above. So you pretty much there are qualifications, just like persons with blind, with vision impairment, similar thing with hearing. So congratulations again to the Indian team. Tough luck to Trinidad and Tobago. I'm sure they will look back at this and try to learn from this, grow as they go forward. Victory by 142 runs for the Indians as they bowled out Trinidad and Tobago for 61, and now they've swept the series, winning all 3 T20 matches and the lone one-day international. So they've won all 4 matches on tour, and they will be very, very happy heading back to India. On behalf of Astor Wren and the entire team, I'm Ruskin Mark, thanking you so much for being with us as you see the images of an Indian team that is a very happy bunch after they've just beaten Trinidad and Tobago for the third time in the T20 series, and to sweep it 3 matches to nil.